Ladies and gentlemen, my name is
Scott.
Hey, yo. Is that his younger brother? It's gonna be
Jeff.
The cream will rise to the top, oh yeah.
And you're listening to
all of the great action figures from our good friends at Hasbro.
The Fullyposeable.
Have your own WrestleMania with all your favorite figures.
Wrestling figure.
Each sold separately from LJN.
Podcast.
And we are the Mount Rushmore of professional wrestling.
Hey, welcome to episode 433 of the Fullyposeable Wrestling Figure Podcast, longest running episodic wrestling figure podcast going today. My name is Jeff. Sitting alongside next to me is my real life brother, not storyline brother, Scott. Scott, say hello.
Hello.
All right, Scott, enough about you. It's all about our guest.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, kick rocks, kid.
I'm out.
And joining us this week, as mentioned last week, Seth and Sheena from the Chick Foley show. Seth, Sheena, how are you guys doing?
We're doing good. We are so honored to be back on the Fullyposeable Wrestling Figure Podcast. Like, you know, we are day one fanners. So, anytime we get to jump on with you guys, it's been way too long, but anytime we get to jump on, we get excited.
Yeah, you guys were the soundtrack when we ran 1,000 miles in a year when we lived out in Hawaii, and we picked up on you guys like 4 months late. So catching up on like that first 4 months of episodes was really like the big soundtrack to get us through that summer.
No, it was great though. It's so funny how your show, like how the shows evolve. You know, we have our own show, and like, yes, when you go back and listen to those old episodes from like 5 years ago, you're like, oh my God.
Yeah. I mean, you're still finding your voice.
Yes, my first episode of a podcast, I was wearing Apple headphones, just using the microphone, so like the headphone microphone. So trust me, we know all about that. But dude, we thought it was like, oh my God, there's a podcast for wrestling figures. So we were so stoked to find you guys. It didn't sound cringe at the time to us.
Well,
awesome.
Thank you. Seth, how are you doing, man? You're letting that not mange, sorry. Scott has mange. Scott has mange. I'm sorry.
Mange. Still with the mange.
Scott has mange. Sorry. You're letting that mane grow up top, man.
You know, I'm going to be getting out of the military here in a couple of years, so I'm really trying to get set up to grow a mullet to rival, the Bret Mans, rival our sons. So that's what I'm working on, man, to get it started.
Oh yeah, he's gonna have full beard, mullet. He's just gonna look like a wild man.
I'm going years without shaving or cutting my hair once I get out of the Navy, man.
Wait, Brett's going full beard and mullet, or Seth?
Both? Yeah, Seth, both. Once Bret hits puberty, yeah, I'm sure he'll go full beard and mullet and everything too.
And Brett's 5, 6?
6. Yeah, he'll be 7 in August, going on 7. So
and Jeff, even at 5 or 6, he's gonna grow a better beard than you.
Oh, that is true.
Yeah.
I look like Beavis when Beavis was patching all the hair.
Yeah, to patch the hair. Yeah.
Oh, even Dad came to me after we did the Toys That Made Us. He's all, "You guys did good, but Jeff, that beard." And I was like, "I know." I was like, "Dad, that was so a year and a half ago when we recorded that. Come on now."
You gotta at least try it. You know what I mean? You gotta at least give it a try. So
yep.
You know what? You gave it a good try, and you look good as a smooth baby face. You know,
I can go as baby face. I cannot grow that beard. Scott is like one of the blessed ones of the family because our 3 other brothers do have the baby faces going on. Scott was one of the blessed ones.
Scott got all the facial hair.
He got all of it going
from Dad. Our dad grew out a beard forever. And it was blessed. You know what, though? I can't grow it here under my lip. I've got like the W on the chin.
The old Michael Cole soul patch. Can't get that going.
Oh, yeah.
I thought about doing the little Batista soul patch, like right down the middle. Like, why not? See what happens.
The soul patch is a statement. The soul patch is a real statement. You got to commit and just be like, live the gimmick when you got a soul patch, dude.
I'll do that, but I won't do the belly button tattoo.
Dude, a belly button tattoo would be epic. I think when you guys reach like
1,000 episodes.
1,000 episodes, I think Scott should get a belly button tattoo.
I agree with
only
this.
If Jeff gets a matching one.
No, only Scott.
Jeff, are you a tattoo virgin?
No, actually, I have a couple tattoos. Hopefully, our dad is listening to this.
Sorry, Mr. Toon.
Come on. He knows about Scott, but me, that's a different story. But anyways,
yeah, Jeff has to stay the favorite.
Yeah, exactly. I gotta remain the top of the rung,
That's right.
I gotta remain their champion. But anyways, you guys mentioned that you go back and you listen to some of your earlier episodes and you talk about, finding your voice and, the formats and everything. What were some of the things that you guys realized, like, as you were going through, you're like, Oh, I got to stop this.
So I mean, we've had so many evolutions in the show over the freaking 5 years that we've been doing the show. But I think really just sometimes less is more, I think so, like, especially there was a time when, WWE it was like every freaking night, there was a pay-per-view every month. There was AEW kicking off. Like there was so much content. And when you really try to dive into all of it, sometimes it can be too much, right? And it wears you out. You feel like the episodes are like so long that it's just like, God, like what were we even talking about 3 hours ago? You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I think sometimes just simplifying and niching down a little bit, I think really helps, helps you stay excited about it, and it helps your audience really stay engaged as well.
Yeah, for a while we were trying to do like best of both worlds and do like wrestling and figures, and really trying to have like a fully formatted show on each of them on every episode. And dude, it got to be exhausting, man, to the point where we're starting to dread it, and you guys know, man, like
us doing figures is a whole, I mean, you guys do a whole podcast just of figures. So.
Yeah.
Right.
Stuff's a labor of love. You really got to be into it to want to make it happen. And it could just wear you out, man. So if it starts to feel like a chore, it's when it's time to start changing things up. And that's what we did.
Yeah. Scott says I'm a chore in his life. So anyways.
Well, I mean, dude, we've been doing this for almost 10 years now. Come on.
Well,
you're going to be a pain in my ass over sometime. I mean, that's how it goes.
Well, 45 years I've been a pain in your ass, dude. Not just,
yeah, but specifically the last 10. Almost.
Well, it's like, okay, whatever, dude. Anyways, Seth, why don't you get the plugs out of the way?
Yeah, so please, I keep my social media kayfabe only as far as the podcasting life goes. I just keep those parts of my life separate, but follow Sheena at Chick Foley. She'll keep you up on all of the wrestling content. You can find links there on her Instagram profile to everything that we have going on. And the big thing we wanted to mention is that one of our awesome, a fan of both of our shows has contributed a donation for a giveaway this week. We're going to be giving away an AEW Vault Malachi Black, one of the best figures of the year so far, by far. And all you got to do is just listen to the show. Do what you're already doing. If you're hearing this right now, you're entered, just snap a screenshot and either send it over to @Fullyposeable on Twitter /X, or send it to @Chick Foley on Instagram, and you'll be entered to win the drawing. Are you guys calling it Twitter? Have you guys fully switched over to calling it X?
We call it Twitter X.
Twitter X.
Yep. Nice. I always go back and forth, man. I try not to I try to be flexible and roll the changes, but I just feel like Twitter was just such a better brand, and it just feels weird saying X.
I know it is.
Yeah.
It's so weird, but Elon wanted his thumbprint on it. So, that's what he wanted to do. But anyways, Brian is awesome for doing this giveaway. I mean, this is just amazing. A Malachi Black Supreme figure, the Jazzwares Vault figure. So,
which a lot of people say could be figure of the year.
Yeah, I'm making a burner account just to enter for myself. I want to win it. I'm hoping that thing. The figure's at my house right now. I'm hoping this thing doesn't leave, man. So if you see, Feth Selps wins the contest, don't ask any questions, man.
This theft. How do you say it? Theft Phelps.
This Phelps.
Nick Choley.
I got a Mike Tyson lisp going on. Yeah. Well, thank you, Brian, for doing this. And as Seth said, just message us on Twitter X or message Chick Foley on Instagram. However, just show us that you're listening, and then you guys are going to do a randomizer, or are you guys?
Yeah. We use random.org as our method of choice. We'll use that, and then we'll time it up so we announce the winners on both our feeds at the same time.
Cool.
Nice. Right on.
I know Scott's going to have his daughters enter as well to get there.
Yeah, both of them. I may even just make up a couple as well. So I may have like 10 kids by the time this is done.
All right. Well, Seth Phelps is already it's already been taken, dude. Sorry. Sheena, what have you guys picked up lately?
The biggest things we got is we got the Monday Night War Ultimates, the Roddy Piper and Bret Hart. Those were incredible.
Nice.
Also. And then I went out last Sunday. Got to give props to Target. They're, at the complete opposite end of the spectrum from Walmart on how easy it is to get these figures. With being able to go in the app and individually see what's in stock at stores, I was able to go and grab the Yokozuna Ultimate and all that Legend set with Captain Lou, Hulk, and the Sultan in one trip, man. One trip, one shop.
He did actually get into his car. And like last week when you guys were talking about the Instacarting,
Norm,
the figures, you know what I mean? Yeah. So like he did place the order in the app, but he did drive and go get it. He didn't have his Instacart bring it to him.
We're out here at the sticks now, so we're about 40-ish minutes away from the closest Target. So you can't play around on going and just,
hoping,
risking,
Yep.
coming up with empty pegs. Gas is too high.
Exactly.
Man.
Yes.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah, Norm placed was it 7 different orders, Scott, or 6 different orders, or and got 9 whatever it was, but it was ridiculous. He got like 9 Yokozunas.
So what I did, I knew because I did the similar strategy with the Legends drop back in January with the Ultimate Edition, Ultimate Warrior. I think there was a Legend, Andre and Jimmy Hart and Hulk. Did the same thing then.
Yeah.
What I did, I knew there were 4 Ultimates in each case, so I just at the closest target us, I ordered all 4 Yokos, and I kept the chase, and then the 3 red and black ones I just flipped to people in the Facebook group.
Nice.
So anybody in the surrounding area that was wanting Yokozuna was just totally screwed over by me. Got all of them.
Damn it, we drove 40 minutes for nothing.
I didn't scalp them though. They all ended up into good collector's hands for
retail,
plus shipping. So I got a clear conscience, man. You guys know some of my adventures in fig hunting over the years. So
Yeah. Seth's had some dodgy experiences in fig hunting.
morally questionable.
So outside of wrestling figures, what else are you guys collecting? Like any other, like maybe Super 7 or anything like that?
Sheena's collecting animals now. Chickens
Yeah,
and goats
I'm
and stuff.
collecting livestock. Yeah, I have about 23 chickens, 4 goats.
One more goat on the way next week.
One more goat on the way next week. Yeah, a full garden of bugs and worms and all the things. And yeah.
Yeah, really haven't. We got out of the NECA. Since the last time we did this, we sold the turtles because whenever we probably could have ended up keeping them, man. But when we were moving from Virginia to Tennessee, our original plan was to downsize on houses for a little bit, and we ended up getting a place actually was a little bit bigger than our place in Virginia. But in the meantime, I'd already gotten rid of all the turtles because I was going to focus on just wrestling. So we've been sticking with just the wrestling for now. I haven't missed.
Got the wrestling turtles though. We had the Nickelodeon.
Yeah, went back and got the turtles WWE mashup. But yeah, the NECA line also, it's so cool. But dude, I still keep up with it, like what's coming out, and I look every time I go to Target. They got some deep cuts, man. Like I thought I knew Turtles, but they're making amazing figures of characters I didn't even know existed.
Yeah. Breaker says that same thing. He says he'll go to Target and it's just like there's this character that he's like, who the hell is that?
Yeah.
And that's the whole reason you got to simplify, man, because now like the lines have been out for so long that they're really like you said, getting the deep cuts, which is great if you're just solely collecting that line because you're like, oh wow, like I totally get to round out my collection. But if you're doing NECA and wrestling figures and Star Wars and Transformers and all the things, you're just like, it's too much,
It is.
Like,
Yeah. How do you fit that into your budget with as expensive as the figures are now too? It's almost impossible. Yeah.
Well, it's like collecting Batman for you, Scott.
Exactly. Yeah. So I have to really, like you guys, just kind of narrow it down and really focus in on the cool ones to me, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm not trying, like I'm not big into the Turtles, but even like McFarlane is doing some deep cuts with Batman, and I have to draw the line. Like I'm not going to get involved with that one. It's actually funny. I don't know if you guys saw the new Batman figures that got released by McFarlane, the Batman 1966 ones.
Yeah. I saw
those are
very nice.
awesome.
So he did a Robin that is supposed to be covered in wax, but it looks
not great.
We're trying to stay kind of family oriented here.
So it's semen.
Okay, well
like
there you
you got a Bukkake Robin.
It's Bukkake Robin,
my
right?
God.
Or it's like the first time Batman saw Robin in his costume. Like this is that figure. Like it's. So that's where I draw the line. Things like that. I'm like, I'm not buying that. I'm not displaying that in my room. So sometimes he makes it real easy.
Yes, exactly. Sometimes it's really easy, but sometimes there are things that like I just have to know because I was collecting NECA horror figures for a while, and dude, they're so cool and they have so many awesome accessories. But I have to just like when we started to simplify, I was like, I can enjoy and appreciate these figures without owning them and having to find a space for them. You know what I mean? Like I can just be like, this is a freaking awesome figure, but I don't have to have it, So
it's tough because those figures are big and like it's a ton of accessories that come with them. Like I had
$50 a pop.
I had like 3 big ass shoe boxes of just random turtles and turtle villains accessories because it's great. They give you so much bang for your buck, but it's just it's like a full-time job just cataloging and keeping up with all that stuff, man.
100%.
Absolutely. Yeah.
That's like the Alf figure.
Oh gosh, yeah.
It was so awesome. I like considered getting it, and I was like, "Oh, Sheena, you do not need it. It's an Alf figure."
No, Sheena, you do need it.
Yeah, I had to add it to my I had to have it.
It was awesome, dude. It was such an incredible figure, man.
When it comes with
any 80s kid had to have that in the collection.
Yeah.
When it comes with Lucky the cat, come on now.
Yes,
I mean,
the cat.
You just that hit me right in the feels,
Yes. Yes, I had when I was a little kid, I had an Alf plushie like for years and years and years, and just I wish I still had it, but
I still don't think it's talked about enough that Alf ended with straight up the authorities just like getting him, dude. Like, how does this show
Is that
end
how
like
it
that,
ended?
man?
I don't remember.
I don't
Seth
remember.
with the
I thought
Alf trivia.
I thought it ended with like a bad ending because they were originally going to bring it back for another season, but I'm pretty sure it ended with just the whatever the authorities that were after the aliens got Alf, and that's how the story ended.
Yeah,
Sorry, Alf.
I think you're right. Yeah, that sucks. So yeah, he was dissected and we didn't get to see it.
He was probed.
Yeah.
Well, that's like the Dinosaurs TV show.
Dinosaurs are awesome too.
How that ended was so dark, and you're like, really? That's how you guys are going out? All right, you know, bury your own grave. But Scott, I don't know if you remember that show Dinosaurs. That was on TGIF.
No, I remember it. I never watched it, but NECA did figures of those too.
Yes, they did. And they're excellent.
Mhm.
But the ending is basically the end of the Dinosaurs was coming.
Yeah, when the meteor,
Oh,
yeah. And
really,
it was just,
that's how they ended that,
it was depressing, dude.
dude.
You're like this little baby, like not the mama, just getting knocked off not.
You're right. Dinosaurs know how. So here, I got it pulled up to make sure I wasn't just misremembering it. So yeah, the show ends with Alf getting surrounded by the military, and he tries to break a joke, and he's like, "Hey guys, you want to grab a brewski?" And then they surround him, and then the credits hit. Man, that's how Alf ends. And it,
Tony Soprano type shit,
it was
dude.
because there was always supposed to be another season, but it was back in the day. They didn't give a shit. There was no internet outrage. If a show canceled, it kind of just disappeared, and you were like, "Damn, it's gone." And so, yeah, we never got to see it, man. So I think we need Netflix needs to bring it back for like a, 12 episode limited series or something, dude.
Wrap it up.
I think Alf could kill in 2024.
People would love that, man.
Agree.
Yeah.
Agree. Because that NECA figure was super popular. So I think that would do really well. At least one season to put a nice little bow on that series.
Well, on top of that, they're coming out with another Alf NECA figure. It's him as a rocker.
Oh, wow.
Excellent.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I'm so excited for that one. Anyways.
Love it.
Scott, have you picked up anything recently?
No. Passed on that Robin.
Mm-hmm.
But no, I didn't pick anything up. It's been kind of dry after I did the Bushwhacker order last week. No pickups.
You know what wasn't dry? That Robin. Anyways. See what I did there, Scott? You like that?
Yeah, thanks, dude.
All right,
Got it.
Actually, I did get the Bret Hart from the Ultimate Monday Night Wars, and I wanted to tie this back into Seth and Sheena. What did you guys think of it? Because notoriously, Mattel is not hitting on Bret faces. I mean, it's well known.
Mm-hmm.
They still didn't, but I think with the glasses on, I think that's my favorite Bret Hart figure they've ever done, dude. You got to leave the glasses on. I got to throw that caveat out there, but I think the way the jacket's done and just the way the gear looks and everything. And, they actually got the hair looking pretty good as long as you got the glasses on it. I think it's excellent. But, without the glasses, it looks like, Howard Stern dressed up as Bret Hart for Halloween. That's what I see.
So they pulled a Toy Biz.
Yeah.
I agree with you. The face is not good yet again, It's
just the thing now. Like we just have to come to accept that
I think
Mattel is ever going to.
I think Bill was an HBK fan, man, and he's just
had to be because there's some figures that you're just like, wow, like you literally captured this person on this head scan, and then there's Bret Hart, who's like, I mean,
he's the best there is.
Yeah, the best there is, the best there was, and you can't there's no likeness. Like it's just like
I thought they've gone backwards. So I got the original Defining Moments out and put it on my display because they do like a rotating display. I put it out a couple nights ago. And I feel like the head sculpt on it looks better than just about anything that they've done, in the last 5 or 6 years. That one looks good. The old ringside collectibles, the all pink one, the one that Target redid with the Ultimate, that one looked good. And the Old Man Bret, I feel like for whatever reason they've been able to capture Old Man Bret really well. The two figures they did him, those look pretty good. But yeah, young Bret, they just can't do it, man.
1993 to 97 Bret, they just can't do. It's so far off, and it's like you guys said, it's almost like Mattel is regressing on that.
And you keep thinking their next one's got to be better, and they keep releasing the next one, and it's not better.
Right,
you guys are getting worse. Like, what's happening here?
It's got to be something about his face, man, because everybody else they nail, dude. Like, did Jakks have any good ones? I don't remember Jakks being as bad as Mattel, but I don't really remember them hitting any like home runs on Bret either.
His Deluxe Classic I thought was really good.
Well, the Deluxe, even with the mouth open, it still kind of looked like Bret from 1994, 95 at that era.
Yeah.
I thought they did well on the faces. I didn't think they crushed it, but it was one of those they did well on the faces.
Yeah, and it always looks better with the sunglasses on, like you were saying, Seth. Those sunglasses add a lot to the look.
I don't know. I'm still wondering why Mattel, especially with the Ultimates, why they haven't just done a molded with the sunglasses. I feel like that would look so much better too, instead of messing with this little accessory that you got to worry about losing and stuff. Like, give us a head with molded sunglasses on. Like, that might be part of the problem. Maybe there's something that they're having to tweak on the design to make it work with the removable sunglasses. Like, I'm just throwing out theories here.
Yeah.
But that may be something that, like, it's just causing them issues to make his face look 100% accurate if they know it's still got to be molded to be able to have these glasses sit on there. So yeah, I'd be a fan if they did some molded glasses before, because Hasbro Bret's that's still my sentimental favorite. And those glasses are forever on, dude.
Yep.
Yeah. LJN too.
Yeah. The first couple Bone Crunchers, had the glasses just molded on it. It works, man. So in the era of removable heads, I don't know why we haven't done that yet.
Good point. Yeah.
Well, we may be talking about Bret later on in the show. I also want to bring up retros. Are you guys into the retro frenzy going on right now?
I'll tell you one statement, and I'll let you deduce it. I have the Diana Hart British Bulldog Retro 2-pack on pre-order from Grapplers and Gimmicks. So
okay.
You tell me. Yeah, we're all in on them, dude.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we just received our KWK Mantar figures.
Mine will be here, I think, tomorrow. Mine's supposed to be here, man.
Oh, you did get
How
them?
is it? Yeah, I got all the KWK. I got the Max Moon, aka the Kid Comet. And the PN News. Yeah, I got that pre-ordered so far.
So it's really good, man.
Nice.
As Sean said on the show, the bubble is a little messed up from the factory, so he's not too happy about that because he's a perfectionist.
Right.
But at the same time, the figure's awesome. A lot of people just love the figure the way it is. The way the bullhead is just what puts it over the top. So
did you open yours yet, or you're still all
what?
Just MOC?
What?
Exactly.
What?
Yeah, I want to know how much it weighs. I want to know what it feels like in hand. I want to know what it smells like, man.
Well, we had that approved sample that we gave away in Philly.
Yeah.
And so we actually did get to hold it, put the accessory on and everything. It fits so well. I've
seen nothing but good reviews online so far from it, man. Everybody's said it fits in perfect with it. So yeah, I'm a big fan of all this. I really like what Mitch Hassel's doing with Grapplers and Gimmicks, because
he's a good guy.
Yeah, he's a great guy. I think his figures are, they're probably a half step down as far as the other ones, as far as like just the detail and what he's trying to do. But the speed on getting them out, and then I feel like out of all the ones doing it, he's the most. It feels like if Hasbro just didn't stop, like what some of the next series would look like, right? Like Duke Drozy, Savio Vega, Ahmed Johnson. Maybe not so much the TL Hopper he's got coming out, but I like Waylon Mercy. I think he's got the best character selection out of anybody doing it. But I'm all in on it, man. I say the more figures, the better.
So with that said, are you honing in on more stuff that would fit into the Hasbro era, or are you collecting anything and everything in the retro game?
I'm getting anything and everything, dude. As long as it's a cool figure, like I'm probably pass on like the Yoshitatsus and stuff. I know Sean and G's coming out with those. I don't know if I'm going to get every single Bulldog. I know there's a ton of Bulldogs coming out here in the next couple months between Epic Toys and Mitch. And I can't remember. I think Zombie may even have a Bulldog coming out. It's it's impossible to keep up with all these releases and stuff.
Yes.
So,
yeah. A lot of players in the game.
Yeah. If it's like somebody's first figure or they're first in that form, I'll usually get it. If it's just like a variant, then I'm a little bit more choosy, but I'm definitely trying to support them all. Cause again, the more figures, the better. And I really want to see these guys expand into the elite scale. That's really where my bread and butter's at as a collector. So I know we're going to talk about, Grapplers and Gimmicks first. I can't wait to see zombies actually in my hands. That Jeff Jarrett and Brian Pillman just look incredible that he had at WrestleCon.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
when we were staring at him, man, those things looked great, man. The 6-inch line, they looked fantastic. So
they do. All of his stuff upcoming is just, it blew me away. Like the Power and Glory, I'm like, holy crap! Like these completely fit into the Hasbro era. Yep. They look amazing. Like it's just. Man, I'm out on the retros. I don't have the budget to do all of it, as we kind of discussed earlier. But man, if I could have one, I think even over the big rubber guys, it would be jumping back into the retros.
Yeah. So you guys saw them in person. What did you guys think of the scale on Zombies bigger figures? Because to me, they looked maybe a little closer to Power Town than like the Elite or like Jazzware scale. Like, what did you guys think from just seeing them there, in person?
To be honest, I was more focused on his retro stuff. I kind of glossed over on his 6-inch scale just because, I'm a Mattel kid. That's just, so I kind of glossed over it and was focused more on the retros, to be perfectly honest. But just at a glance, I dug them. I thought that they were cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did look really good. And you kind of hit it on the head. It was a little bit closer to a 7-inch scale. At least that's just kind of the way it looked from our angle and stuff.
Yeah,
like
I've seen them online. They just look like a little bit thicker and sturdier than Mattel's. If there's one critique on like Mattel, that the figures can be like a little like thin. You know what I mean? Like a little slight.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, Abdullah definitely had the moobs going on,
Most accurate boobs in wrestling figure history.
Yeah. He had the moobs like Jagger,
He's gonna come with a soft goods bra. Right?
Yeah.
That'd be an amazing accessory. Holy crap.
Chest support.
I know, right? And the Pillman looked really good too in person. That one I was pretty stoked for. So
yeah, it looks like it's gonna be the best Brian Pillman figure, at least since the WCW Galoob line.
Pretty much. If you guys are ready, we'll jump into the news.
Let's do it.
New wrestling figure line. Yes, another one. Scott, go ahead and talk about it, dude.
Oh,
perfect. So
look at you just throwing curveballs at me.
Well, yeah, peek behind the curtain. I was in the same boat, man. I had not heard about this till Jeff put me on. So he's digging deep on this one. There, this is a deep cut in the news.
So this just literally popped up. So it is from a place called Top Rope Collectibles, and if you look at their artwork, the card art or the art is very Galoob-esque. In the upper left-hand corner, it says "Just Another Toy Company, coming soon. www.topropecollectibles.com, TRC for short." It says stay tuned for more announcements. All right, so maybe we are going to go into Galoob style. Who knows? I mean,
this is what we've been waiting for, right? It's the one, well, not one, but I mean, there's a few that haven't been tapped into yet. Galoob's definitely been one that we've been just waiting for somebody to jump into.
I feel like it's like Galoob and like Maximum Sweat, man. Like, what else have we not seen in like the WCW vibrators? Those, and maybe the stretch guys, dude. Like, yeah, I'm with you, man. I love and dude, the thing about Galoob, that line was so freaking great, man. It's crazy because it was really only one series, dude. They had one series and then they had a series 2 of, mostly repaints with a couple new guys. It was only available in the UK.
Yep.
Those sculpts still hold up, dude. Like I said, go look at that Brian Pillman. Look at the Tom Zink. Look at that Sting. That Sting.
The Sting. Yep.
I think you could make a case for it being top 10 wrestling figure of all time, the Galoob Sting. Like,
it's so
whoever
cool.
they had that was doing those sculpts was just so ahead of their time, because those things look like they really are, because there's no articulation, but they're like little sculptures, right? That's like the level of detail and everything. So if somebody can capture that, I'd be all about it, man. I absolutely love the Galoob figures. I put together a whole collection a couple years ago, and it was really fun piecing that back together.
Oh, hell yeah. Yeah. The only miss for me was Doom and Sweats. And that's not even Galoob's fault. That was the shot that they had to go off
they got
of.
that one street fight. That's the reference photos they got. So.
Yeah. So, hey, that's as bad as Galoob got. That's still a win.
So
Did you guys see, sorry to interrupt, there's some potential Galoob news that they found reference photos for Teddy Long. Like, nobody's seen if they ever got to be a prototype, but they found Galoob shot reference photos of Teddy Long from that match with Doom. Like, he's in the same suit that Doom had on when they were in the sweatpants. So you never know, man. It's, we've seen crazier things come up, man. Maybe there's a prototype of a Teddy Long Galoob figure floating out there somewhere.
Oh, that'd be insane. It also makes you think, like, how far down the road did they plan this line? Were they talking like 3-4 series?
Yeah.
Were they going to do a managers only series? That would have been badass.
That's what I was about to ask. There wasn't a manager in the Galoob series.
No. Nope.
Oh.
Needed a Missy Hyatt, man. The first female and the first manager.
Hell yeah, a little Jason Hervey as well. Hey.
So let's do a little wish list. So hypothetically, let's say they do go Galoob. Who from 1990-91 WCW would you guys like to see?
I think it'd be a little bit of a reach. I'd love to see a Vader. Like, you'd probably have to go a little bit more 92, but I feel like Galoob didn't really give us any like heavy set guys, you know what I mean? Like, Sid was probably the biggest dude that they made, and he's just big and jacked. They didn't give us any of the true heavyweights, so I'd love to see what Vader would look like in that line.
Hell yeah. Well, I mean, I can hear Breaker yelling Van Hammer, Arachnaman, like all of the crazy gimmick stuff, like the Todd Champion, Firebreaker Chip, like those guys. Like, I can hear him screaming for those, but I would love to see Rick Rude in there as well.
Yeah, short hair WCW Rick Rude would be cool.
Ricky Steamboat.
Dude, you took the words out of my mouth. I'm going to say Ricky Steamboat had he had a nice little run there in early 90s WCW. Sheena's
Jack.
Yeah, I was going to say Sheena got Cactus Jack pulled up. That'd be another cool one, man.
Oh,
Max Payne, if you want to go big guys too. Then you get another big guy in there.
Scott, when you said Firebreaker Chip, I think I heard Shannon yell from the other room.
She did.
I thought so.
She did. Yeah. Little siren goes off.
Anyways, another wrestling figure line. Now, is this overkill?
More figures are always better, man. I mean, I think it's because there's going to be something for everybody, right? Nobody's going to be a completionist anymore, I don't think, unless you just like win the lottery. But I feel like it's cool because it's opening up niches for people who they may not have what they're looking for right now. You know, I mean, there may be just like a hardcore Galoob collector, and now they're like, hell yeah, dude, like we're getting to extend our line. So I'm always for it, man. And I hope all these guys succeed. I'm always cheering for them. So I mean, too much is never enough, you know?
And it's going to generate interest in the old lines, which is going to drive the value up. And even though that's not why I collect, that tends to just get a lot of interest and buzz going around wrestling figures as a whole. If stuff starts spiking in value. You know, you saw it with sports cards back a couple years ago.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, I think it's all good stuff if we can get a little revival of the Galoob line.
For sure.
Agree. Yep.
Larry Zbyszko would be another good one in there.
Larry Z would be cool.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, for sure. That's the Paul Heyman, Dangerous Alliance. That's what I was trying to find. Bobby Eaton would be cool.
Yeah.
If you can stretch it to like 93, 94, you know, you really open up, because then you can get like into like the Diamond Dallas Page, the Diamond Stud. You got who else am I thinking of, man? You could do Johnny B. Bad. That'd be another cool one. Like WCW had some really colorful characters. What if we get Oz, you know? That's the one Kevin Nash persona we've never gotten a figure of, dude. Give us a Galoob Oz.
Or the Yeti.
The Yeti.
The Yeti.
The Yeti.
Van Hammer with guitar accessory. I think that'd be so badass.
All right,
dude,
Scott.
what are the odds? Speaking of Oz, what are the odds that you think that we get Oz and Diamond Stud as a 2-pack from Mattel?
It's totally in the mix, man. With the deep cuts they're doing in the Legends line. Yeah, they got to be. Or Diamond Stud, Vinny Vegas. The other one we got to get now, dude, we need Making a Difference Fatu. You know, we have every single one of Fatu / Rikishi gimmicks except Making a Difference. That'd be so toyetic, man, with those tights and that blue leather jacket. Like, give it to us, man.
It's the perfect line to drop it to. The bloodline is so hot right now, dude. Like
the thing is, dude, you could do it. You could put it in a set. You know, the only time they gave us Greenwich Snob Triple H was in that Toys R Us Network Spotlight exclusive back in 2015. Triple H's first pay-per-view match was against Making a Difference Fatu. So you could put both of those in a Legend set to kind of go with each other, man. I think it would work.
You know, when I woke up this morning, I did not think we'd be talking about Making a Difference Fatu. So yes, that is Top Rope Collectibles. Their website is up, but it doesn't have any information, so stay tuned to that. You guys mentioned them earlier, Grapplers and Gimmicks with Mitch over there. He's going to be making a Kurt Fuller, aka the.
Speaking of things we didn't think we would be talking about, you know,
totally
random.
The bingo. Yeah. Kurt Fuller from No Holds Barred. He'll be making them in a retro scale, which we already knew about, and a 6-inch scale. All right. I know you guys are loving Mitch's stuff. Are you guys going to jump in on both of those figures?
Dude, I said I love the deep cuts. This is like beyond deep.
Yeah, I need him for my Wayne's World collection.
It is cool. I mean, I like that actor, dude. Yeah.
Yes.
Like Sheena said, I know him. I know him from No Holds Barred, but I feel like Wayne's World is really like, that's the movie that pops up when I see that guy's face. I mean, it's cool, dude. It would definitely look good on display with Rip and Zeus from that No Holds Barred set.
Yes.
So I love that he's doing it. I probably need to see what that price tag is going to be before I make a final decision, but it is cool, man. And I want to see who else he does, dude. If he's got the rights to do everybody that he made retro figures of, I think we could be in for some really cool stuff because it looks like a nice figure.
We did ask Zombie at WrestleCon how much his 6-inch scale figures are going to be, and he did not have a price point, which scares me. So
yeah. I mean, because it's hard because when you put something out there too, like if for whatever reason something happens and it has to go up, then people are pissed. You know what I mean? So it's really hard to like say it. Nowadays, everything goes up by the minute, so it's like
exactly. Yep. Chad Young actually sent over photos. They had this figure and both the 6-inch and the retro style on display at a con this past weekend, and Chad Young sent over pictures of it. It looks fantastic. So good. Cool. Next to the Rip and the Zeus. It's like, it's perfect. He scaled it perfectly.
Yeah, we're looking at an IG right now. It's really cool. And I saw Mitch had a video with the actual Kurt Fuller. I don't know where he dug him up from, dude. He's got a video on his IG with Kurt, so it's pretty neat, man.
Well, he was actually doing a con this past weekend. Wait, past one or the weekend?
It was this past weekend. Yeah.
Yeah. So Kurt Fuller was doing a con And so too bad you didn't have the figure out at that time.
I know, that would be awesome.
A lot of the wrestling nerds would be getting that signed.
Oh, hell yeah. I'd be one of those wrestling nerds. Excuse me.
So actually, now that I'm thinking about it, we have not had any clues or tips or anything of what this year's San Diego Comic-Con is going to be.
Nothing.
Usually by this time, we kind of start to hear inklings. We start to hear something. So let's just do another wish list real quick. Ideas on what will be this year's San Diego Comic-Con.
My most wanted figure, I've been trying to speak it into existence for years. I want Shep Ramsey from Suburban Commando. Give me Hulk from Suburban Commando, dude. That would be freaking awesome.
I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility, considering they did a no holds barred set. I don't see
You could
why
do-
not.
You know, Undertaker was in there as one of the bounty hunters. You could do a cool little Undertaker, Mean Mark bounty hunter figure if you
There
had,
you go.
if you feel like you got to do a 2-pack. But I don't know, I thought that'd be neat. Muhammad Ali was a cool figure. I was definitely a little bit underwhelmed last year. I would just like something a little bit more wrestling centric.
Yeah.
I think now that we got Captain Lou, I feel like we need Cindy Lauper, dude.
Cyndi Lauper
We need
would be
we need a Cindy Lauper figure. So
Have it come in like a record case or something like that.
dude, that would be epic.
Because they've gone away from kind of like the ridiculous, like the whole Isaac Yankem, the
wrestle crap
Virgil
stuff.
thing.
Yeah.
Exactly. And they've gone into more like stuff that they know the collectors want, like really, really want. So it's got to be something along those lines. So, I mean, Suburban Commando, Cyndi Lauper, that all totally fits the bill. I mean, we had Mr. T a few years ago. So, yeah, why not Cyndi Lauper?
Ridiculous and Isaac Yankem does not go together, Scott.
Sorry, dude. I didn't mean to insult your favorite.
Thank you.
The other thing is things have been so quiet on the Macho Man front. I'm wondering if maybe he is back on a deal and they're just keeping it secret for a big surprise for Comic-Con. You know, maybe we get like a shock drop of a Macho Man release. I know it'd be hard to keep something like that secret, but he's got merch back on a WWE shop and stuff. So you got to imagine that. I'd be willing to bet that he's back under a WWE deal, you know, and it includes figures.
Is he in the video game too?
Yep, he's in the video game. And that's always like the telltale, you know, if they're in the game, they're typically got a figure deal also. So I wouldn't be surprised, you know, you could do we've been wanting for a few years a Macho Man and Miss Elizabeth WrestleMania 7 set.
Yes,
You know that
sweater.
and they'd already crafted up that Ultimate Edition Macho Man. So you know that's they just need to push go on that and it's ready. So all you need to do is whip up a little easy peasy Elizabeth to go with it. That'd be pretty cool.
How do we not have a Luna figure, a Luna Vachon? Like, you know what I mean? Like, how do we not have an elite of Luna? It's just
totally agree.
I think she's got a classic. I think Classic Superstars was, or no, she had that. Was that Chella did the retro?
Chella did the retro.
Oh yeah, the Cello.
That was the last one.
More of a Jakks mini than a retro figure. It was so tiny.
Yep.
Yeah, I keep I tried to for years. I was wishing the Gooker into existence, and we finally got the Gooker.
Got him.
Yeah, we got the Gooker, and so now my big thing is like we need a Luna Vachon.
Dude, she could go with Gold Dust.
Or Marlena. We need a Marlena too.
Yeah, you could make one Luna, and it could pretty much go with Gold Dust, Bam Bam, and Sean. You know, she had kind of the same look with all three of them.
Yeah,
so it would totally work.
Also, moving along, AEW and Youtooz. Are you guys familiar with Youtooz?
I'm not until today. I saw them today. So are they bobbleheads or are they just some sort of like vinyl figure, kind of like Funkos?
Vinyl statuesque figures that are really nice looking. They make a lot of South Park ones. So watching a lot of South Park, I may have purchased Tally. So anyways,
allegedly,
I may or may not have, but I definitely did.
But do you like it? Is it good quality? And
yeah. Well, I mean, I kept it in the package because I have nowhere to put Tally, you know.
Because of course you did. But what's the price point on it? Just to kind of guess where we're going to be at on these.
Ooh, good question, because I bought that a while back, so I don't remember exactly the price point.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
I've got the Youtooz IG page put over now. Scroll to some of the ones where you actually see the figures they've made, because I haven't seen these before.
Yeah.
Well, they showed off a black and white photo today.
Okay.
And it was
those are kind of cool.
It was 4 silhouettes of AEW figures. And if you zoom in, you can tell it's MJF, you can tell it's Tony Storm, you can tell it's Orange Cassidy. And on the one on the right,
it is Orange Cassidy, yeah.
Because you can see, right?
I think it's Jericho, because you can also see on Orange Cassidy, you can see the hand.
The hand's in the pocket. Yeah, I didn't notice that at first glance. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I think it's possibly Hangman, but I think it's Jericho, man.
I think it's Jericho too, is a safe bet.
Yeah. But yeah, they're cool, man. I would definitely I'm all about, like I said, I'm all about more figures coming out. They look pretty nice. Sheena was showing me some pictures, some of their stuff they've done. They look almost like like the bear brick statues you see from Japan. That
Yes.
like really, really like high quality vinyl. This isn't like a Funko. This is almost like an art piece.
Yes, exactly. That's the best way to put it, is an art piece. So AEW will be getting 4 figures in that. No time release just yet, but keep paying attention to YouTube's IG page.
Nice.
You guys getting any of those?
If they do a Sting, man, I probably got to get a Sting. That's my dude.
Yeah.
Man.
Oh, that thing would sell out so fast.
Yeah, I don't know if any of these first 4 are enough because this definitely isn't something I'm going to be all in on. But like Sting, Hangman, and Mox, that's kind of like my 3. That's like my holy trinity of AEW guys. So if they put out any of those 3, I'll definitely be considering making a purchase.
Scott, I know you're not into AEW, but who would be the one that you would be willing to pull the trigger on?
Probably Sting.
Sting. Okay.
Yeah.
Makes
or
sense.
if they did like the Briscoes.
Oh, yeah. Good point. Good
If
point.
they could do those, probably be in on those. Speaking of Sting, how long do you think he's under a deal with AEW for to continue to make Sting merch?
I don't know. I'm not sure if they even do. They don't even really have like a Legends thing. So I don't know. I know he's on extremely good terms with AEW because they showed him such a good time. But you got to know, Triple H is itching to bring Sting back in the fold. Like, come on.
Oh,
big fella.
absolutely.
Like, he's a merch machine. And dude, I do. If nothing else, man, from what AEW's been around its first 5 years, I'm so grateful they gave us that last run from Sting because it was so freaking awesome, dude. Like everything up to and through the last match was just perfectly done. But I want some WWE merch, dude. I want some Mattel figures. I want Sting back in my WWE video game. Like selfishly, I want him back. So I'm hoping that that's already in the works. And you know, I know Sting's a business guy. I don't think there's really any bad blood between him and WWE. I know it didn't go exactly how he wanted to, but I can't imagine that, you know, if Nick Khan shows up and backs the Brinks truck up to his house, that he wouldn't be back on the deal in a heartbeat. Like, dude, think of the Ultimate Editions we got. Like, Mattel did some really good Stings, but they've gotten so much better on the figures over the last 5 or 6 years that I'd love to see them. You know, you got the greatest hits line, so we can get some of those old ones back out, and then some new Stings they didn't get a chance to do. Like, yeah, let's make it happen, man.
I agree.
I thought he was doing some sort of like instructing or creative like at AEW, like behind the scenes.
As far as I know, I don't think there's been any contact since Revolution. Like, he hasn't. He left it open. They asked him if he'd ever be back on TV, and he said maybe he would, but it sounded like, you know, that deal's done.
Well, I know a lot of people want that Legends figure. A lot of people were crushed when that figure got canned. So
yeah, but how much would you rather have like an Ultimate Edition Crow Sting or Ultimate Edition Surfer Sting? I mean,
oh, absolutely, dude.
It would be incredible.
But you know that if that name came up on Mattel's list, hey, you know, feel free. You know that they would just start pumping everything out like right away because they probably still have all the molds and all the renderings and, you know, whatever they need. They can just get that out and like,
you could put a Surfer Sting in like every other Elite series or every other Legend.
He'd be like the new Hogan.
There's so many different colors and stuff. You know?
Exactly.
Like OSFTM did with the big rubber ones, man. Just put him in every single series with a different color combo.
Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, I'm thinking 3 Ultimates right off the bat. You got Crow Sting, you got Surfer Sting, you got Great American Bash Sting. All of those would make amazing Ultimates. So like you, Seth, selfishly, I'm hoping Sting ends up back in the Mattel fold and more video games, more shirts, more figures, like bring it on.
Are you wanting him to like have more matches in WWE?
No.
Okay.
He had
you just want him back under like Legends.
I don't even need to see him on WWE TV.
Okay.
Yes.
Give us the merch, dude.
Because I was like, dude,
Sting merch.
It was such a nice bow that they put on his like career. You know what I mean?
It's done.
He had the rare perfect ending in wrestling. And just let it go.
Yeah, exactly. He got the Duke. So let him ride off into the sunset. But we want to buy more Sting shit. So bring it.
Sting shit.
I mean, not literally his, you know.
Hey, I bet it would sell. I bet somebody out there would be into it. There is a caca collector out there somewhere.
I'll buy jars of it.
Where's KVW at, dude?
No, dude, he's gone, dude. I was more than happy to let that guy go.
I'm going to need a certificate of authenticity, though.
You have to send the picture with the, you know, on the pot, you know.
I want to see grunting and a vein popping out, damn it.
Oh my God.
All right, that's enough of that, Jeff. Stop it.
What did I do? Come on now.
You knock it off over there.
I need to see him eating corn and then Stop it there. I will stop it there. I'm sorry.
No, hey, if we're talking Taco Bell, that might open the wallet a little bit.
Scott too.
Talk about a stinger splash. Or is it the Scorpion Death Drop?
Hey,
Oh my god.
poop jokes are always welcome here.
I love a good poop joke.
Exactly.
We have a 6-year-old, so poop jokes are basically our
They're the
our
best.
life, you know.
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely.
Pull my finger, never gets old.
Yeah, toilet humor is always welcome here too.
Mattel, the WWE 70s 4-pack goes on sale on Mattel Creations this Wednesday, May 15th at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's the one with Gorilla Monsoon, Superstar Billy Graham, Muhammad Ali, and I put Gorilla Monsoon twice. Whoopsie.
You sure did. You forgot Harley Race, dude.
Harley Race. Thank you. Yeah, I put Monsoon twice. I was like last week when I put Harley Quinn twice on the top 10 thing for the Toy Fair
Yes,
magazine.
you did.
Anyways,
Yes, you did. Apparently, you really want that Gorilla Monsoon figure, Jeff.
Either that or I'm starting to get dementia. I forgot that I put Monsoon on there or whatever.
Well, in your defense, you put Monsoon and then Gorilla
Monsoon.
So
yes.
it's basically it's two totally different things, you know.
That's actually the one I'm most excited for, that in-ring Gorilla Monsoon, man. That's such a cool figure, you know. Like,
yes,
that's probably my number one most wanted out of that set. I think it's really cool the belts we're getting too. You know, we're getting the old school like WWF belt, and then the freaking NWA title. I still don't understand exactly how they pulled that off. That we're getting the NWA championship.
Shocked.
Yep.
And then it gets your mind going. What other belts do they have available to them? You know, there's so many other belts that they can just start diving into and putting on figures. Mm-hmm. Is that going to be some of the theme to San Diego Comic-Con? Is more new belts? Oh, yeah, I'd be all for it.
I hope so.
There's still a ton of WCW belts we haven't gotten done. You know, WCW was kind of bad about updating their belts like every 12 to 18 months. So there's a ton of, you know, US championship and tag team championship designs we still haven't gotten yet from them.
Yeah. That's why on that Power Town figure of Magnum TA, I went batshit crazy because that US title that, you know, we grew up with in the late 80s.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Right.
Yeah. Anyways.
So Jeff, I have a prediction for the next 4-pack. On this territory set.
Okay, please do.
Lawler, Kaufman, Zbyszko, Bruno.
Lawler's deal just ended with WWE.
Still on a Legends deal. It was just
still on a Legends deal, dude.
Yeah.
Okay.
They came back and corrected it when that report was going out. They said he's still on a Legends deal for merch. His commentary deal just wasn't renewed.
Oh, okay. Well, there you go, Scott.
That'd be cool.
Just throwing it out. I mean, it looks like they're trying to go for like older matches and like 2-2 that make sense for match. So that's kind of my prediction. Bruno and Zbyszko was one of the biggest matches of all time back in the day. I could see Lawler and Kaufman being a hot seller, you know, because they always want to put the big names in there as well. So I think that one would do pretty well.
Well, they would have to get Kaufman and Zbyszko under a deal, obviously.
Do we know that Zbyszko isn't?
Dude, when was the last time? The last time they made a Zbyszko was that
4-pack, right?
Zbyszko was under the Rush Collectibles line, you know, that banger of a figure line that came out. So,
whoopsie.
But that may I doubt Rush is signing folks to like exclusive deals and locking them up. So he could totally you know, have that. But yeah,
they probably like just signed it on the notes app on their phone. You know?
I feel like Kaufman could be a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive too, man. Like that's a hardcore want, dude. And I feel like they would knock it out of the park with that figure. You know, they kind of already got the template with that Johnny Knoxville they put out. I feel like they could reuse a lot of parts from that Johnny Knoxville Elite because he kind of wore similar ring gear. I'm pretty sure his ring gear was a little bit inspired by, you know, the stuff Andy Kaufman was wearing. So that would work. That would be a really, really neat figure because like it's hard to. I mean, it was before my time, you know. But that was like one of the all-time like most famous wrestling angles as far as crossing over to the mainstream, man. Like I feel like it actually, because it didn't happen like under a WWF banner, I feel like it really doesn't get the credit it actually deserves for just how like much nationwide attention that got when they were having their you know, their big angle.
Yeah. I think the Dr. D slap on Stossel got more coverage than the Kaufman and Lawler thing did.
Yeah.
But yeah, and if it happened in the WWF ring, you're absolutely right. It would have gotten huge coverage. Would still be talked about today, like big time. But I think that'd just be a cool callback set. I'm just trying to think of like territory matches that happened that WWE could literally go get those guys and make figures of them. That's just, those 4 guys make sense to me.
Yeah, there's a lot of meat on the bone for that late 70s because they've barely even touched it, man. Give us like a young Bob Backlund. We've never had that. Pedro Morales, you know, he's one of the most decorated champions in wrestling history. He doesn't got a figure yet. And I can't imagine that they'd really have to break the bank to get those guys signed to Legends deals, because there's not a ton of market for them.
Why do you think that is? Why do you just because of
Just
like
a long time
demand,
ago? I
or,
mean,
like,
think
you
about.
know?
I mean, dude, I'm gonna be honest. I'm like, I know like maybe 4 people who watch more wrestling than I do. I've never sat down and watched a Pedro Morales match. You know what I mean? I know who he is from like hearing about him and stuff on like the documentaries. And, he kind of got him and Bob Backlund kind of got new life, because for a while there, they were getting mentioned on every single Roman Reigns entrance on like the handful of people that held the belt longer than Roman. It's just extremely niche. I think it would have to be something like what Scott and Jeff are talking about. That exists just on Mattel Creations, like a small batch, because do you know anybody when was the last time you heard somebody besides just now mention, hey, I want a Pedro Morales figure?
Never.
They might have shot their water a little early with that Hogan figure that they put out in the Legends, because they could have saved it for this, but they put it out in the Legends, the one where he was in the white and he had the robe when he was managed by Blasty, Scott.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Almost
so you're thinking
style.
they could have put Blassie and Hogan in this set, you mean?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah,
you could do Antonio Inoki would work in this set. I know he's kind of more Japan than like territories, but I still think he kind of fits in that era. Give us an updated, like old school Andre. It's been a while since we got a good old school Andre with the big blown out fro. That would work.
I think they might be saving that one for the Coliseum collection.
Yeah, that would
like
work
the
too.
Series 1 Andre.
Series 1. That'd be cool.
Yeah, big furrow Andre, dumpster fire face.
Oh god,
it's horrible figure.
So next year, WrestleMania is in Vegas. Are you guys going?
We got some friends already trying to talk us into it. I'm open to it. I don't know. It's gonna be expensive though, man. Sheena in Vegas is kind of like opposite Sheena's vibe. We're looking forward to. The Titans got a new stadium opening up just a couple hours up the road from us in a couple years, and it's rumored that it's going to be in Nashville. So we'll definitely be at that one. I don't know if we'll be at one before then or not.
Yeah, I've never been to Vegas. I just I don't know. I just feel like it's way too much for me. Have you guys ever been? Like, you've been to?
Oh yeah,
did the whole Vegas thing?
Oh yeah.
I'm going almost every year now.
I guess California, it's like,
it's 8 hours away. Driving. Yeah. Flight is like 45 minutes. It's like super fast. You're there in a heartbeat. It's crazy.
I don't know if the Airbnb market didn't like pick up on Mania yet, because our friend Jordan that does a show with us sometimes, he was one that was hitting us up about going, and you can get like really nice Airbnbs for still like $275 a night right now, which I was surprised. I figured the moment that Mania news dropped, they'd be jacking the prices up sky high. So that kind of surprised me. But I feel like the tickets are going up so much for these WWE
big time
events, dude.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's not just one ticket anymore. It's like, there's two nights.
I don't even think
plus
we do
all the extra shows. If we would be like, there was like an AEW show, NXT or whatever.
I don't even think we do Raw after. I think if we do go, I think we'll probably do the 2 nights of Mania, and then probably like GCW or some of the other big indie shows. Man, I don't even think I'd try to do Stand and Deliver or the Raw after Mania.
Oh, how times changed. Before, when we went to Mania, we were doing all like
Yep.
SmackDown, Raw, NXT, all of it, Access, WrestleCon.
The live tickets have just exploded the last couple of years, man.
Big time. Yeah. When TKO took over, man, the dollar signs went up.
Yeah.
Nuts.
Well, that is it for the news. Let's just go right into nostalgia if you guys are cool with it.
Let's do it.
Go.
We got some visual aids.
We're going to be talking about Jakks mini slam action, which you can find on wrestlingfiguredatabase.com. Seth, you want to talk about these? Please go into it. Why you want to talk about these?
I love these figures, man. These are like just a straight up nostalgia blast, dude. So as a kid, my Fig Fed started off, it was big time with Hasbro and Galoobs, right? I had those mixed in along with like some Toy Biz, X-Men, and Marvel. Those were kind of like supplementary characters in my Fig Fed. And then I switched over to the BCAs. But the BCAs were a little bit bigger, and the ring for the BCAs was absolutely gigantic. It was the remolded LJN ring. Like,
it was way too big.
Yeah, you're not playing with that in the backseat of the car, right? Like, it's just not. But then I remember going to Toys R Us one day, and I saw that first 4-pack of the Jakks minis. Came with a ring and stuff. Came with 4 figures. And dude, it's perfect to just sit like in the middle of the back seat, have matches and stuff. Sheena's showing it off here. And then, and the cool thing was that these were just like mini BCA figures, man. Like, they totally matched up with the bigger guys, so they were perfect figures to go on the go, to the point to where like I would have my fig fed. I would set up the matches with my BCAs at home. And if we were going on a trip, I would just do the matches with the little mini guys on the way. So I just love the playability of these. They were super cheap too, right? So last year we went back because, again, I was feeling the nostalgia itch. I actually put together basically a complete set of these things.
Because we grabbed some at Music City Toys, right? When that
yeah, we grabbed some at Music City Toys.
Yeah, we hadn't
SummerSlam
really seen them
2022
in
in Nashville. If you're in the Nashville area, Music City Toys is a really great toy shop. So we grabbed some of those. That kind of got the itch going. And I ended up going back and picking up a few sets. And a couple of these that we're going to talk about, they're really hard to find. And so I ended up having to just get the box set, and putting together the ring and everything was just so much fun. I just think these were such a neat set, and the value for them was crazy, right? Like, we're looking at, they still had the KB's price tag on there. $20, you're getting 6 figures, a ring, like steel cage, all kinds of
and
accessories.
the ring comes with a ring bell.
Yeah, you get that
You're right,
beautiful,
like
Ricky Steamboat, Macho Man, eat your heart out, dude. So I just thought it was a really, really neat line of figures. That's kind of just, it doesn't get a lot of shine though, man. You don't see these popping up a lot. There's not a super hot.
You got like a little mini ladder,
A mini dumpster.
Yep.
Literally, everything they made for the BCAs, they made for these guys.
Trash
shrunk
can,
down.
chairs.
Yeah, so
They did titles too.
yeah,
Yes.
they're the IC and a world title. I just think it's a really, really cool line, man, and it doesn't get the love that it's deserved over the years.
You got a lot of bang for your buck. That was really what I saw with these, and I loved them too. I thought they were great.
Again, you can find these on Wrestling Figure Database. Just go up into the magnifying glass, type in Jakks Mini Slammin' Action. You can see all the sets that Scott is about to talk about. You know what it is?
And
It's like
real quick, the Triple H. I mean, he's got a metallic paint, right? So think about how like Mattel for years has not been able to nail a metallic paint, and yet this guy has like perfect purple tights.
It's like
You know what I mean?
SummerSlam '98 come to life.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
Yeah.
That's a great point.
incredible, dude.
Scott, I know you also love these as well.
Yeah, and as we start running down the list here, I think I maybe had like 3 or 4 of these.
Yeah, you had quite a few of those, dude.
Yeah, I would pick them up and just display them on shelves. They were, super easy to display. They're small. I love these things. They were great.
They were travel size.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm
fun
thinking.
size.
Like at school, you know what I mean? You take these things in your backpack. You got the perfect little like school bus, like, sitting at your desk, having a wrestling match,
Yep, they fit in the pen pouch on your backpack. You're good to go.
1000%.
And to point out how much fun these are, so I got them kind of just out of nostalgia to display and just have some fun with and stuff. Our son, he's 6. All he's known is, elite figures, which we didn't have anything like that when we were kids, right? We had like LJNs, no articulation, Gloobs, no articulations, Hasbro. You were kind of stuck with whatever pose they gave you. But as soon as he got these were all he played with for weeks, man. Like, he'd fire up some pay-per-view on TV and just sit down and do matches with these. So like, there's just a lot of, it's just something about like something like this, like scale. It just makes you want to pick them up and like mess with them and play and have matches and stuff. Like, just like I said, I'm all about the little minifigures.
Yeah, same.
And they don't articulate at the head, right? It's just the arms and the legs. That's it.
The arms and the legs.
And it's basic articulation. I mean, it's like back and forth. Like, that's it.
Don't try to do
4 points of articulation, and they're absolutely beautiful.
4 points of articulation.
So, Scott, why don't you go over these sets?
Yep. So these were released between like 97, 98. I believe there was one from 99, according to your notes here, Jeff. That was the No Mercy set. That was with TLC and hardcore match accessories. Came with the New Age Outlaws, Undertaker, Mankind, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and Triple H.
Killer set.
Austin had a couple releases in this one. The Austin I ended up getting was the one with the SCU, the classic 316 shirt. That's the one that I got. Austin, I think he had one with the regular Austin 316. He had one in the trunks, and then he had the one randomly that, you remember that Steve Austin shirt where his arms were rattlesnakes?
Yes.
There's a minifigure. One of these sets had that as the minifigure.
Well, also, I want to point out the box art on this stuff was excellent as well, especially for the Raw's War. It just had that black and red accents to it that just made it pop. And that's what I loved about it, is the artwork on the box. The figures were, they did a good job for what they were going for, on them.
Yeah, they were fine. But the way they were displayed on the box too, Jeff, to your point, they were in a clear plastic window. You saw all 6 figures. If it had a title belt, or in the King of the Ring case, it had a crown. They displayed that underneath the figures, and then to the right was the box art that you mentioned and showed all the figures, and you're playing in action. It just looks so good.
Yes,
You'd
I
always
love
see-
90s box art where it's literally
Yes.
the toys in action. You
Yeah.
know what I
Yep.
mean? Like it just
Yep.
makes you want to open up that toy and play with it so badly.
Yeah.
Yes.
I love
yeah.
the false advertising on the launcher. It shows these guys looking like Jimmy Snuka coming off the top of the cage. Dude, I've literally karate chopped that thing. They go like 2 millimeters in the air and just like tip over, dude. It's a tipper. It's not a launcher, dude. So,
Exactly. Yeah.
don't get your hopes up to that. But I'm telling you, it was so much fun putting these play sets together, man. When we opened them up, Jeff, we opened up some.
Yeah, they
sealed
are sealed.
97,
I'm
98.
taking this out of my ear right now. I'm not listening to this.
Just editing this part out of the show.
Not
We
listening to
released-
snuff.
We released these things from their plastic prisons after 25 years.
To get the whole set than it was to try to piece them all together with like shipping and everything. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
I'll mention them when we go through in the set. There were 3 that are damn near impossible to get in complete form that I'll mention as we go through.
Okay. Scott, go for it.
Next up, we have the Raw is War set. This was released in 97, came with a cage for the ring and the IC title, came with Stone Cold Steve Austin, Ahmed Johnson, Farouk, Triple H, Gold Dust with removable wig, I might add, and Mankind.
How cool is that? And a removable wig on a figure that small.
Yeah,
Yeah.
an accessory on a little minifig.
Yeah, the Ahmed. So if he was in, they tried to do these basically to mimic the BCA figure. So he's in that same pose with the arms permanently bent, but in the smaller scale. When with the the tighter figure form, it really looks like he's just taking a power dump, dude. He's got the elbows
Yes.
tucked in tight, legs squatted, 45-degree angle, like it's about to be a pro rever plunge, dude. And like the face is just straining, man.
That the way you're holding it, the figure actually just got injured, just like Ahmed did back in the 90s too.
Yeah, his ACL's gone now. Next up, we got Sudden Threat. This is from 1998. Came with again a cage for the ring, a dumpster, a world title, and the figures included were the Headbangers, Kane, Cactus Jack. Jeff, you have Cactus Jacks on the notes.
Yeah.
Cactus Jakks.
Jakks with JAKKS.
Thank you. I was
Well
wondering
done.
if anybody was going to get that.
Had to shoot you out on that one.
Thank
The
you. I
Rock
appreciate it.
and Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Okay. And up next.
Survivor Series. This was from 98. Ring had a cage again, trash can and chainsaw accessories, which is insane. That's amazing.
This is one of the 2 that I got MOC because you can't find that chainsaw Charlie with the chainsaw.
We had it
The
though.
chainsaw
Really?
is like microscopic. Yeah.
Yes, we had it in that batch that we got from Music City Toys. We had the Chainsaw Charlie with the little chainsaw, and at
My
the time,
son lost the chainsaw.
yeah, the
Oh,
chainsaw.
no.
We were just like,
We
oh.
actually put him up for adoption for like 2 weeks, man, before we changed our mind. So, yeah. Luckily, there's not, the 5 and 6 year olds. They're usually on the market a little bit longer, so nobody took him, and we had a change of heart. But yeah, he lost the chainsaw, so I ended up having to go. I got that one in a baggie with like 8 of them for $10. Ended up having to go back and spend like $60 to get this thing MOC. So.
Oh,
man.
You got to have the chainsaw, though, dude. You can't have Jack's Mini Chainsaw Charlie without the chainsaw.
Yeah.
Just-
I
no.
completely agree with you. Yeah. So only 2 weeks on the market, huh? For me, it would have been a little bit longer, I think.
Yeah. Yeah,
$60? Yeah, if you're on for 5
felt,
weeks.
Yeah, he felt really bad, so we took that into
Of
account.
course.
Scott wanted to put me up for adoption after I destroyed his Kiss figures, but actually, you were talking to Mom and Dad about that just a couple of weeks ago too.
Uh-huh.
You're like, why did you not just take me up on what I said?
Yeah, exactly. I could have been an only child. It would have been amazing. Would have loved it so much. Survivor Series set with the missing chainsaw. Kane,
Yeah.
Cactus Jakks, Chainsaw Charlie, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and this is his SCU t-shirt and jeans set, and the New Age Outlaws.
Love that
What-
Cactus Jack too, man. Such a cool little figure.
It is cool.
And the New Age Outlaws, if this was the one I was thinking of, Road Dogg was wearing the white DX shirt on this one.
the rare. Road Dogg was known so much for rocking the white DX shirt. Yeah, here he is. Oh,
Yeah.
He was. There he was.
it was.
That's right. Yep. I don't know why. I always liked it when they put the white DX shirt. I know it wasn't the normal DX shirt, but
I think his first BCA was in the white DX shirt too,
I
right?
think so, too.
I think that's where they got that off of.
yeah.
Was this first one the Signature Series, or did they do one before that? Because I don't remember.
The Jakks, it's impossible, man, to keep up with the Jakks.
There were so many
lineage,
series.
dude. So many different
Yeah.
offshoots of sets, man. Like it's really freaking tricky keeping up with them.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
it
like
was insane.
that was like the Brock Lesnar. We all thought the Ruthless Aggression was the very first one to come out,
Right.
but technically 2 months prior there was some 2-pack or something like that where Brock slipped in at the last.
Was it a
second.
2-pack or was it a King of the Ring?
Was it King of the Ring or was it? I can't remember.
Maybe it was a 2-pack. I don't
Jakks
remember.
just was so prolific on the releases, dude. Like they were like the Nick Cannon of freaking like wrestling figure releases, dude.
Just spreading their seed everywhere.
And so much random stuff. Like there's like a WrestleMania 14 3-pack that's like Steve Austin, the Big Show, and like Thrasher from the Headbangers. It's like, what the hell, dude? Like, what is doing?
The Jakks sets are pretty wild.
I remember they would do like 10
were.
packs also. Do you remember when they would release the 10 packs of BCAs? Like, if you're a kid, that's freaking awesome, dude. Like Christmas morning, you open up and you got a whole 10 pack of figures, dude. And I'm sure for
great.
parents it probably made a lot of sense too, man. But
Heck
yeah, if you to go back and like piece together like a Jakks BCA collection, especially if you're going to be a completionist, like. Dude, that's going to end up being a full-time job.
Yeah,
it would be impossible almost, you would think. I mean, there were so many figures.
Especially if you're going for all like the different packaging variants and stuff also, because they released they released the same figure across like 6 different lines.
Yep.
Well, that's like when we're doing the 2-packs in our nostalgia segment. They would start with one and they would jump over to 2 Tough and then they wouldn't continue with this one, but it was still had another 2-pack. It's like, Jesus Christ, just keep one
solid they had like
line
Bad
going.
Blood was one set of 2-packs.
Yes.
Yeah, I think they had one that was just called like Tag Teams. Yeah, it was always something different with the Jakks 2-packs.
And then Ric Flair comes out with black hair. It's like, what the hell is this?
I love the Owen Hart and Jeff Jarrett that was the same figure. They just literally just painted different gear on them. It's the exact same figure from head to toe.
Was that wait, that was the same 2-pack, right?
I don't think it was a 2-pack. I think it was in like it was in separate series, but it was the same figure. They released it once, exact same head sculpt with Owen Hart, and then they repainted it with Jeff Jarrett. I'll dig it up on database and shoot over some pics.
Wow.
Oh my gosh. I love Jakks for that.
God, I love Jakks.
It was the best, man. Like just because they gave you so much stuff, and they were quick as hell. Getting figures out too.
They were. You're right. Yep.
All right, Scott, what you got up next?
Royal Rumble. This was from 1997. Came with a ladder and a chair. Figures included were Paul Bearer, Jerry the King Lawler, the Road Warriors, who had black shoulder pads on in this one, Mark Marrow, and the British Bulldog.
Thankfully, Paul Bearer's urn is attached. You don't have to worry about keeping up with the little microscopic urn. Okay.
Yep. Could you imagine? And a lid as well. That would
and a
just
lid.
Yeah.
That was another one that was the other one that I bought MOC because Legion of Doom, they're almost impossible to find with the shoulder pads, and even more than that, something about the way they did the deco on their faces, like it's really hard to get those faces with the face paint intact. They all look like they just got done in a got out of a 25-minute match with like the Midnight Express, like pretty much every single set that you see on eBay. I mean, remember those are the ones we unboxed back in December.
Oh, nice.
And Scott, do you still have your Road Warriors with shoulder pads?
I do. I've got, man, let me go back through real quick and I'll tell you. So we've still got 2 more to go through. I had the next 2. I had the Royal Rumble and I had the Survivor Series.
Didn't you have the Raw's War one too, just because of Ahmed?
I'm pretty sure I did. Let me see. Let me go back through. Hold on.
You're a big Ahmed fan, Scott?
Oh, I loved Ahmed Johnson.
He was the man, dude.
He was. I was convinced he was the next world heavyweight champion, and he was going to be for years.
He made that debut on Raw and body slammed Yokozuna, and he was rolling with Shawn Michaels. Yeah, he seemed like he was going to be the biggest deal, and then just couldn't stay healthy, man.
That was the biggest thing with him, man. You take those injuries away, I don't know what his career trajectory is, and that's 100% honesty. You know, if you take the injuries out of the equation, he is no doubt heavyweight champion. Literally, like no doubt in my mind, he would have been heavyweight champion. Like he had everything Vince was looking for in a superstar.
Even the promos, like you couldn't really tell what he was saying, but you could still tell he had charisma, right? Like it would just worked, man. Even though like it just sounded like just gibberish.
But I bought every word of it. Damn it!
Every King of the Ring, every WrestleMania, everything. Scott was like, Ahmed's winning.
Ahmed's winning. He's my dude. He's gonna win.
When we used to have our friends over, we do a King of the Ring pool. Like we'd pool money and you pick a winner, blah blah blah. Every single time, Scott's all Ahmed.
Like, but I mean, kayfabe aside, I mean, who's beating Ahmed, dude? You know what I mean? Like, who the
right?
If you're just like a kid watching out, you're like, who's gonna beat this guy?
I remember, I think it was Royal Rumble '97. He did a promo. And he had the whole crowd chant on Farouk. He had the whole crowd chanting, "You're going down. You're going down."
Yep. Was that the where he put D'Lo through a table at ringside? Was like no
maybe.
regard for his well-being, just like locked him.
Dude, if
awesome.
If WWE ever gets him back on a deal, dude, my most wanted Ahmed. You remember WrestleMania 13, the Chicago Street Fight, where he came out with the LOD shoulder pads, just looking like the freaking man, dude.
Yeah,
like, that's like one of the hardest pictures in wrestling history. Like Ahmed rolling with the Legion of Doom with the shoulder pads.
That was, and again, you look at him, you're like, nobody's beating him.
No, nobody's beating it. Like you give it up. Don't even come to the ring. Don't have a chance.
Yep.
Hey, if you guys look, Scott, I sent you on Facebook Messenger, and Jeff, I texted you. I found the Jeff and Owen, the duplicate, man. It's the same figure, just repainted as two different guys. Like, I don't think anybody has ever done that in the history of
terrible though. I mean,
it kind of works. It does kind of
saw-
work.
So if you just saw one or the other, you'd be like, okay, cool. But yeah, the fact that you can switch back and forth and see both of them, like you're like, this is.
Or if
so
you're like in your
Jakks.
fig fed, just going through them, you're like, wait a second, this is the same guy.
Yeah.
Oh wow,
I
that's
appreciate-
insane.
Yeah, the multi shades of blonde.
I mean, hey,
Could
it's a good
actually
way to
pass
use
for
your
Ivan
resources.
Drago.
Oh my god! Yes.
If he dies, he dies.
Shout out to Jakks.
Shout out to Ahmed too. Oh, by the way, that picture of Ahmed in the Road Warriors shoulder gear, he was selling at his table at WrestleCon.
Nice.
And
cool.
if you got a picture in an auto, you got a free photo, and he would sign that too. And that was the one I chose. It's funny you mentioned that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
That was a good match too, man. That's aside from Brett and Austin, that's probably the next best thing from that WrestleMania.
Oh, hands down. Hands down.
Yeah.
And I loved it. I mean, a huge Road Warriors fan, huge Ahmed fan. I was like, this is amazing. Best WrestleMania ever. Just kidding.
Whoa. Calm
Just
down over
kidding.
There. Calm down over there.
So yeah, Jeff, to answer your question, I had the Raw is War set. I had the Survivor Series. I had the next one we're going to talk about, the WrestleMania set, and the Royal Rumble. I did not have the King of the Ring or the Sudden Threat. So I basically had four of these.
Did you just stop collecting them, or?
Yeah, I didn't need this many of them.
Okay.
Like I was literally just leaving almost in the box. And then I would open them later, and I was like, man, I'm going to stop collecting these. I don't need this many minifigures, just
As the line went on, kind of like just a recurring theme with Jakks we've been talking about throughout the episode. There was a lot of re-releases, right? Like it'd be the new
repeats,
set,
yeah.
But out of the 6 figures, it'd be 4 repaints and maybe 2 new guys. So yeah, that
exactly.
was the line went on. I kind of saw that because at first I was thinking about getting every single ring when I was piecing together this collection last year, and I was like, dude, that's going to be such a waste of money. Like, because I was really just wanting to have one of each, at least one of each character and 1 ring. So I ended up able to get done with buying 2 rings.
Yeah, and you're right. That was a staple of Jakks. Things just got kind of repetitive after a while.
Yep.
That's how you make money, though.
Yeah, oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
Slap a different coat of paint on it and ship it out. Charge the same price.
Yeah.
Hell
Yeah. See Mattel top picks. Next set, we got WrestleMania. And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, this was the first one they did, right?
So there was a 4-pack that came out first. I want to say the 4-pack came out first. I don't know if it was like a proof of concept or what. And then there was the 6-pack, which was basically the same thing, just added some additional accessories and stuff.
Okay, because they did like a separate ring and then the 4-pack of figures.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. So this was the WrestleMania set, 1997, came with the world title. This came with Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels, The Undertaker, Psycho Sid, Owen Hart, and Vader.
If you're only getting one, this is like the one to get, right? Like if you just want to have a piece of this line in your collection, I think this is between the character selection and the WrestleMania ring. I think it's the best one.
Yeah.
But
yeah, you put Austin in there, and that's a home run.
It ain't really coming through, but yeah, there was a 4-pack that came out slightly before that it had Undertaker, Vader, Bret, and Sid, and the ring is what it came with, and then
they re-released it with the additional figures.
Yeah, they went to the 6-packs after that. So I don't know. We need to track down somebody that was like in charge of like product development with Jakks at the time and like run through exactly what the thought process was behind the way some of these lines rolled out, because it was just stuff would just show up every time you went to Toys R Us. You'd see a new Jakks product that you had no idea was even a thing.
I think they just used the randomizer, dude. I think they literally just like went to random.org and
Yeah.
But that was kind of the fun of that Jakks line back in the day, is that you didn't know what to expect when you went to the toy store.
Yeah, you're
just like, what am I going to see?
Seeing something new. It was, especially when it first dropped, it was just mind blowing, like seeing these new figures, because we were in the figure desert, dude, between Hasbro and Jakks. Like the Bendums were doing the best they could, but it just wasn't the same, dude. The Bendums just were for whatever reason, like it wasn't the same as getting a Hasbro or like a Jakks BCA.
And you did have the WCW SFTM,
Yeah, those were cool, but those were always more in line with the LJNs.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
If we found anybody from Jakks and he came onto either of our shows, he would be like, I don't know what the hell we were thinking. It'd be the shortest interview ever.
Yeah.
I really do think that. I think that they would just be like, we don't freaking know, dude.
They were just pumping out
like,
product.
Yeah. It was just they were just like, pump it out as fast as you can, dude. Like, they had just some guy like a graphic designer creating new boxes and just putting those same ass figures in there, like
yep. Why Ric Flair had dark hair? We don't know. We
don't know.
Well, we do know.
It was a mistake and we couldn't go back and you know what I mean?
Think about
there was no way to go back and fix it. So
the Undertaker in Series 1 of Classic Superstars. He's got like the gray boots and like the purple gloves. Andre's got two straps on the dude.
Yeah.
Didn't Taker have like R3 tech legs or something like that? Or,
he had that. I think Andre was like a mix and match on the parts also. Like for such an iconic line and being like Series 1, like the end all be all, dude, it's really such a hodgepodge. But then you also got that Ultimate Warrior, which is one of the best figures ever made, dude. Like I love that Series 1 Classic Superstars Warrior. It's just iconic.
It is. It's so great.
And the last one, Scott?
King of the Ring from 1998 came with a crown and what they called cloak accessory. Rocky Maivia, the Headbangers, Brian Pillman, Savio Vega, and Sunny.
And our first mini chick, we got.
There she is.
Sunny.
Can't believe Sable didn't find a way to get in this line somehow, man.
Right? Yeah. I mean, we got Marrow, but no Sable.
The other thing that was weird about this is literally everything else is just like the BCAs. Like even the dumpster is modeled off that Jakks dumpster that they released on those play sets. We never got the robe, like the King of the Ring robe in the BCA line or the crown, because the crown's not like the crown that came with Jerry Lawler. It's a separate little mold. So that was weird to me that out of all these sets, that was the one that they were like, you know what, let's do like some unique stuff for this one. But pretty cool little accessories.
Yeah, overall, just like you said, Seth, just fun. Just you could totally play with this back in the day. It wasn't overbearing like the big monster ring that you had to play with your Jakks in. You could just throw these, like you said, in the car. Just easy to play with, fun to play with, limited articulation. But, when you're a kid, what do you care?
Your mom didn't have to leave half her luggage out of the back of the Volkswagen to fit your rings and all your figures.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
That's
Seth's
right.
mom was like, "We're getting the small ones."
You could take your whole I mean, and over the course of the line, they had enough different characters that you could have like a whole ass fig fed, man, with these guys. So it's just a really, really cool line, man. I encourage people, if they haven't checked it out, to go and pick some of these up. If you got any vintage toy stores around, a lot of times you can find grab bags of little small figures loose for like, 12 to 15
or
bucks.
If your kid's having like a WWE birthday, like these are perfect cake toppers. You know what I
Yes.
mean?
Oh,
Like,
yeah,
these
good
are
call.
perfect little like, party
Absolutely.
toppers for your.
Just make sure they don't eat the figure. It's
Yeah.
all
Don't-
bad.
Don't let your children chew on the figures. Yes.
What was the price point on these back in the day? What was it, like 15, 20 bucks?
20 bucks.
20 bucks for a ring, accessories, and 6 toys. There's 6 figures. That's insane.
Most time you go into KBs and get markdowns and stuff too. But I know the ones we picked up back in December, they still had the 1997 price tags on there. So yeah. 20 bucks, a hell of a value for 20 bucks, man.
Absolutely. Yep.
I did pull some eBay sold auctions, I should say, from this.
I was blown away, Jeff. Honestly, I saw I was like, what? Damn it, I shouldn't have opened them.
See, guys, I'm telling you.
Yeah, in a couple years, we'll be like, damn it, why did we open those?
Jeff was right all along.
Let's not get carried away.
One F, Jeff was correct. All right. The No Mercy set from 1999, last sold eBay listing, was on April 20th for $49 on 9 bids. Raw's War set from 1997 with Ahmed Johnson, last sold eBay listing May 6th. This is so funny. Seller wanted $129.95, but accepted $129.95.
When I got I told that to Seth. I was like, the seller wanted $129.95, but they accepted $129.95.
So 130 will pull those sold listings and actually show you what is sold for, because if you go into eBay, it's got a line. Well, on 130 it says wanted $129.95 and sold $129.95. I was like, why even just put that on there? Just
did he include shipping or something?
I was gonna say there had to be some.
Maybe scratch shipping, dude.
Yeah, there had to be some sort of like
some catch. Yeah.
Yep. The Sudden Threat set from 1998. Last sold eBay listing was also April 20th for $102.50 on 18 bids.
18 bids.
It got a lot of action over there on eBay.
I know.
Survivor Series set from 1998. Last sold eBay listing was February 13th. Seller wanted $69.99 but accepted $69.99.
Hard
Here we go
negotiator.
again.
Yeah.
What set am I on now? Come on now.
Royal
Rumble from 1997. Last sold eBay listing. Also April 20th. Seller wanted $119 but accepted $100.
Dude, somebody was freaking tearing up the weed that day, and they because it was 420, and they got high as a mofo and went on eBay and just bought all these minifigures.
Dude, I remember these figures from when I was a kid.
Yes,
They didn't get the munchies. They just jumped on eBay.
It's not a coincidence that all of these happened on 420.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
The guy was sitting there. He's like, dude, remember those little minifigures from like back in the day?
That's exactly how it went down.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna go onto eBay and buy all of them.
Yes.
WrestleMania set from 1997. Last sold eBay listing also April 20th for $107.50 on 23 bids.
Holy crap.
Wow.
Yeah. And the King of the Ring set, there was none available on the eBay sold listing.
Wow.
I want that little cloak, man.
Yeah, I know. I'm actually now
They're hanging on to it.
I want to see what the accessories are going for on these. I should have pulled the listings on those.
Good point. Yeah.
There's got to be.
I couldn't find it because I still had the Chainsaw Charlie. I had a save search on eBay for like 2 months for Jakks mini chainsaw, and it never popped up. So it's that's like a niche of a niche, man.
I feel like you almost have to have an MOC for to keep, because like there's no way that if you play with these as kids.
So I got all the accessories.
Long gone,
these,
yeah.
Gold dust wig, the shoulder pads, the belts, and Chainsaw Charlie's chainsaw. I got those in a little baggie in a safe location in my my
They're
office.
not to leave the office.
Yeah, so we don't let those play.
Yeah,
they're too tiny.
Yeah, we let Bret play with figures wherever he wants to, pretty much in the house, and he's gotten to where he only wants to play with Seth's figures. Like, he has tons of figures of his own, but he wants to play with
the collectible
ones,
yeah.
And so he's gotten really responsible. But
yes, he doesn't just
smash.
He's not like the old Hasbro commercial, just smashed them together. He's actually working matches and stuff, so you can trust with him. But the cape from that King of the Ring set is on eBay right now for $17 or best offer. So
okay, that's not too bad.
Maybe he'll accept $17.
Just the cape, but no crown. You can get the only way to get the crown right now. You can get the King of the ring with the crown, Road Warrior Hawk, Road Warrior Animal and Brian Pillman for $50 plus shipping. So
wow,
yeah. So if you're trying to get the cape and the crown, you're gonna have to crack open that wallet.
That's like back in the day when Big Boss Man's nightstick and
exactly
the Mountie shock stick was the worst one. That thing was just because it didn't sit in his hand that good. It was so I feel like the shock stick was the easiest of all the Hasbro accessories to lose.
Big Josh's axe handle from the UK series.
That's another one that doesn't even fit in his hand, dude. It just like slides right through, man.
Yep.
Yeah, these things were designed to be lost the moment that you freaking
totally
open them up.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well, Seth, thank you for mentioning this for the nostalgia segment. This was a lot of fun, and actually, it was eye-popping on how much they were going for on the eBay market.
Oh, I'm blown away, dude. Like, those values are insane to me. Like, I did not think they'd be going for that much. I figured $40-$50
because people played with these, dude. I feel like for a lot of people, they probably. I mean, dude, I played with my BCAs a lot, but I know I played with these Jakks minis a ton as a kid, and I think that's kind of just it's the stuff that we love, man. That's what really drives the value of these up. Is 20 years later, you go back and try to refine them.
Mm-hmm.
I'd be interested to see what the values were 4 years ago when everything went crazy during COVID. Like, what were these sets going for?
Oh, that's
like in the box. I was wondering. I don't know.
You can scroll back, right? For like
you could go on. I know Worth Point. You can go back pretty far and find stuff.
Okay, yeah, that'd be interesting to see.
Which website is that?
Worth Point.
Okay,
it's there's a handful of the ones you can go back to kind of get like the deep, the really detailed eBay information. Worth Point's the main one that I've used over the years.
They do everything, not just toys. I mean, Worth Point does.
It's anything off eBay.
Antiques and anything off eBay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We are going to round out the show with Who Did It Better, and this one's for you, Sheena. We're going to play Bret Hart. Which one is the best? And if you say any of the Mattels, I'm cutting the episode right now. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm looking at the defining moments right now because we talked about it. The original like defining moments, dude. It's such a good figure. I'm still very, very, very partial to the ringside exclusive, like pink and black attack Bret Hart, dude. The packaging on that was spectacular. The all pink was just incredible. We actually upgraded ours because we opened it. We upgraded ours and got a soft goods pink jacket to go with it. And
nice.
Yeah, handmade.
I think it's like X9 Studio, something like that. It's a lady out of Taiwan that does custom figure clothing, and yeah, it was awesome. It was cool until we got the the Ultimate Edition. They redid it Target last year to upgrade it. But yeah, I love the defining moments one, the Ringside Collectibles last year, because that's my favorite Bret jacket. The jacket with like the skull with like a nail going through it on the back. But dude, after getting the Ultimate Editions, man, I almost hate soft goods jackets, dude.
Yeah,
I feel like
the definition.
I feel like the plastic with like the posable arms just looks so much better, man. Like to me, technically, the most recent Ultimate, the Monday Night Wars Bret, as long as you keep the glasses on. Huge caveat. Don't take those glasses off.
Yeah.
You take those glasses off, it's a shitty Halloween costume version of Bret. But as long as you leave the glasses on, I think that's technically the best Bret figure ever. For me, the original Hasbro Bret will always be my number one. That's my all-time favorite toy of any line. That might be my all-time favorite, like, physical object, right? Like, outside of my family and loved ones, as far as, like, things go, I think the original Hasbro Bret Hart might be my favorite thing of all time, dude.
It was in the room when I was, having giving birth to Bret. My Bret.
Birth room is
it was a good. It was kind of like a good omen. You're supposed to surround yourself with things that make you like happy, and also we had the little Bret Hart Hasbro in there. So very special figure.
I played with that figure so much as a kid. I think it still holds up as a great figure. Obviously, the red card Bret was a little bit more toyetic. He's got the more detailed gear from Bret's solo run, but I think that original Hasbro Bret is an absolutely outstanding version of him in toy form, and so I'm still gonna go Hasbro, man. I'll go nostalgia on this one, and I say the original Hasbro Bret Hart was the best.
So Scott, do you have a list of all Bret Hart figures, or just kind of like a?
I've got 3.
We'll be here till next week if we list every Bret Hart figure.
Right? Yeah.
All right. Can you break down the 3, Scott?
Yes. First off, my number 1 is LJN. And we talked about molded on glasses earlier. It does a lot for that figure. I even think the likeness on that one is better than a lot of the Mattels that have come out. And
dude, LJN was killing it. We always talk about how
had some good
it's
ones.
Unreal how good LJN sculpts were.
Especially young Bret.
Yeah.
He's got the shorter hair, and his face was a little bit rounder there. Yeah, it looks different. But yeah, it's a really it's like a distinct, like for Bret, and I'm thinking that was like an 87 Bret that they captured. Like it's pretty much perfect.
Yeah, I love the gear choice on it. The pose is good because you can put them with Anvil and they can do the heart attack together. Because like you had mentioned earlier with LJNs, you were kind of stuck with the pose they were in. You had to kind of pretend, right? But you could do that heart attack, no problem with those two guys. So the Bret pose, everything about that, the molded on sunglasses, I absolutely love that Bret. My 2 honorable mentions, we've been talking about them a lot. The first defining moments with the Canadian flag and the ringside exclusive all pink.
Oh yeah, baby.
Those are my 2 honorable mentions, and that rounds out Bret for me.
You weren't the biggest Bret fan, so
no. I mean, don't respect the hell out of him.
Qualify his opinion, okay?
I've been doing that for 8 years on this show.
That's true.
But that's the beauty of the hobby. We've always said it's totally subjective, right? It's what makes you happy. It's what.
Very subjective.
It's like food tastes, right? Like what you like, other people won't. So that's what's kind of, but we've been talking about the defining moment and the pink Bret almost all night. And it's just funny that here they are. They're coming up again in our favorite Brets. That LJN, I'll never forget getting it. So like you with the Hasbro, Seth, there's a lot of nostalgia in that. How much I played with that figure when I first got it. Like I was so happy to have the Hart Foundation. They were one of the most badass teams WWF ever had. And when I was a kid, I had to have figures of them. When I finally got them, oh dude, the matches, the playtime was just incredible. So I'll never forget getting that Bret, and that's always going to be my favorite Bret.
One thing to mention too, because you guys both mentioned that the defining moments and that pink and black Bret from ringside, those have been re-released in the Ultimate Edition line, but the packaging on the OGs was so much better. That original defining moments packaging was some of the best Mattel's ever done. And the packaging on that ringside Bret was just crazy, man. It was beautiful, all pink. The Ultimate Edition packaging is fine, but it's very sterile, right? I don't feel like the Ultimate Edition packaging, it never adds anything to the figures. It's just a nice, clean look. Whereas, MOC, those other two, they look miles better in those boxes than they do in the Ultimate Edition boxes. So if anybody's like questioning, like, didn't these just get re-released this last year? Like, yeah, but there's more, the packaging's a big part of it.
And
man.
we're loose
Absolutely.
collectors, and the packaging still means a lot. You know what I mean? Like I remember getting those figures in the packaging and just being like, just looking at them,
Even
like,
if you're
damn, these are awesome.
Open them up, still a big part of the experience, man. So
Okay, least favorite Bret Hart figure.
Oh, probably old man Bret for me. The the jorts and the gray hair. I just I love a good old man Bret, but yeah, that's just
Was that the Toys R Us exclusive one?
They had so there was a Toys R Us exclusive one from SummerSlam 2010, and then a couple years ago they did it in the WrestleMania line from his. There was one from that 10-man tag against Nexus, yeah, and there was one in the WrestleMania set from when he fought Vince McMahon. To me, I don't necessarily love those figures, but I think they were still pretty well executed. The worst Bret Hart figure of all time to me is definitely the Toy Biz, where he's like a real hitman. He's in like the mafia, like pinstripe suit and stuff. Like,
Howard Stern.
That wasn't even on my radar.
Like that's far no. I remember, like, I already hated Bret in WCW, and I remember as a kid like seeing that figure, and I was just like, what happened, dude?
What was the Jakks Bret that I always took around the island where he had the 5 o'clock? Was this classic Super?
Yeah.
You had the
Jakks
5 o'clock shadow. I'm like, he didn't have a beard or 5 o'clock shadow. What are we doing here?
I know he always had that baby face going on.
Yeah,
and
stuff. Smooth as a baby's butt.
Another honorable mention for the worst. Do you remember? There was only like 2 or maybe 4 figures in this whole line, but when Just Toys had, it was Just Toys. They did Stretch Armstrong style wrestlers. There was a Bret Hart in that line, and it had like almost zero detail to it whatsoever, man.
If I'm not mistaken, it didn't even have a singlet up top. It was just all pink down below, right?
Yeah. It was just it was like a dog toy, man. I remember I think I ordered that I had to have ordered it from a catalog or something, because I don't think I wouldn't have bought it if I saw it. I think I just heard or saw like a listing for like a Stretch Armstrong Bret Hart figure, and remember getting it. And then once I had it in hand, I was like, what the hell is this? And I gave it to our golden retriever at the time, and it like chewed it up within like a day. It was like, it was, because I thought it was going to be filled with sand like Stretch Armstrong, but the WWE Stretchums had like a black goo inside of them, dude. So it was, I think I ended up getting like cussed out by my parents for that one.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's not a good dog toy. Very toxic.
Yeah.
Well, we remember the Stretch Armstrong figures from LJN back in the day, Scott.
Yeah. So we had Ricky Steamboat and I think one other. I can't remember who it was.
Oh,
so
dude, we had Bundy, we had Savage, we had Steamboat.
Did we have all those? I don't remember
JYD. Oh yeah, we got them all for Christmas.
Okay, the one I was left with was Ricky Steamboat. So I'm going through an old tote in the garage, and I don't know why I did it, but I had stuck him in a Ziploc bag, and I pulled out the Ziploc bag out of the tote.
Oh my!
The figure itself had like exploded or melted or something.
Yeah.
And it was a true 80s wrestling figure. There was white powder everywhere. It was insane. So if you ever wondered what's inside those things, it's cocaine. It's cocaine.
Yeah.
It's full of white powder that stretches.
I love those toys, dude. Stretch Armstrong is one of the best toys ever. I love Stretch Armstrong.
Growing up as a kid of the 80s, kid of the early 90s too, Stretch Armstrong was mage. Like I just think he just such a cool toy. And then Stretch Armstrong, and then what was the villain's name? He was made out of a totally different material.
Fetch Armstrong until just now.
Fetch Armstrong, he was the coolest. He was a wiener dog, dude. And then they had the Vac Man. He was made out of like beads, and you like suck the air out of him. Yeah,
that's right.
Big Stretch Armstrong.
Yeah, she was about to start the Fully Stretchable podcast. I've been with her 20 years. She knows like all the lore and everything behind the Stretch Armstrong line.
This is where they tap into a whole new market.
They made mini versions. So there was like the big versions, and then I also had the mini versions of Stretch and Fetch and Vac Man.
Please do a quick segment on the next show about Stretch Armstrong.
Yes.
The history of the Stretch Armstrong line.
Yeah, I'm gonna look up the villain.
But that was one of the fun things about the 80s is those toys was, I mean, just from top to bottom, from boys' toys to girls' toys. I mean, we encompassed everything under the sun.
And they're still making
more creativity, dude.
Yeah, like just original figures. Like now everything has a license, right? So all toys pretty much are based off of some sort of license or TV show or movie or something. Like in the 80s and 90s, there was just original toys, right? Like toys that came out for the sake of being toys.
Yeah, the toy line would usually lead off, and then you would build the comic books and cartoons off the toy line.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what G.I. Joe mask and He-Man basically. It was a 30-minute infomercial just for the toys.
Yeah, G.I. Joe kind of made the prototype, and then everybody else was trying to have their own G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
But yeah. The other big thing, dude, that we miss out on, I think, that from Toys R Us going under is the play sets, man. Like, you don't see any of the big elaborate play sets we had as kids. There's one out now, and it really stuck out to me because you don't see anything like it. There's a beautiful Ninja Turtles play set. I don't know if you guys have seen that while you've been doing Toy Spotting. Next time you go to Target, next time you hit up a Target, check out the Turtles section. It's based off the new movie line from the movie that came out last summer. But this thing is awesome, dude. Like, it made me like want to try to like get the kids sparked into like some Turtles figures just so I can have it in my house, man. It's got like the sewer. It's got like a bunch of different scenes on one big play set, and it was something that you see for like every single toy line when we were kids, but I feel like you never see none of the really big items like that nowadays.
Yeah, it needs to be a couple more years. Our kids, like, they do the play sets, the pieces get everywhere, dude, and get all over the place. And I'm just like,
shit gets mixed in. You got like Minecraft.
Yeah. So I'm like, maybe when he's like 8 or 9, like it'll be more like, small role play. Because he plays well, but yeah, playing inside the little play structures and I'm picking them up, vacuuming them up. It's just a mess.
Yep. Refresh my memory, because I remember listening to you guys on the Chick Foley show. Did you guys back the Nitro stage?
We backed it, dude.
Because I remember you guys were kind of going back and forth if you were going to or if you weren't going to.
I was lukewarm on it, but I still ended up backing it just because it was still cool enough. And I was just like, my big thing was like, dude, if we don't back this, it's going to it could end up killing this thing off, dude. It'll probably be a long time before we get something else like it. Dude, I still wish, man, dude, I know that they're extremely smart people there, man. I feel like there were so many missteps on like the rollout and just like the order of the figures and stuff. Like, I feel like they should have just done it, picked out a number, and you get all 5 figures at once, man. I think that Ray kind of killed it, dude. I don't think anybody was excited to get that Ultimate Ray. And those things, you got to have the momentum going out the gate, dude. It seemed like that thing kind of came out stumbling. Because, dude, at the end of the day, you could end up spending, almost $500 after shipping and stuff for, a Scott Steiner and a Rey Mysterio figure. I don't think anybody really the Steiner was cool, but nobody wanted that Ray. But the thing was, dude, I was watching it, man, because I was rooting hard. We was pushing it in the Facebook group. We had Sheena pushing it on Instagram. The night of, dude, it picked up, man. I wish they just would have extended it to like Monday morning. Like, it really it had some momentum going that last like 8 hours, but there just wasn't enough time left. Like, I think we could have won the game, man, but we just, the fourth quarter ended too soon on that one. Hopefully they bring it back sometime. Have you guys heard any rumblings if they may try to do it in a different format, or is that thing just mothballed in the warehouse?
It's pretty much mothballed into a vault at Mattel, man.
Yeah, such a beautiful piece.
I was talking to the packaging guy at WrestleMania this past year, and he goes, I was like, hey, how far did you get into the packaging? And he goes, we were just doing the dimensions, and unfortunately it didn't fund, and there's no more talk of it. And I was like, I was afraid you were going to say that part.
If ever I wanted a second chance in life, like that would be it. Like, if I could have one more go around, like, give us another opportunity,
dude. Especially now we got the Monday Night Wars line, dude, and I feel like the Legends line the Legends line has really hit its stride in the last couple of years. Like, it was cool when they first brought it back, but I feel like the last like year and a half, 2 years, the Legends line has just been smoking hot. Monday Night Wars line is red hot. It just, dude, I don't know, man. I think it was just some strategic errors, man, on the rollout on that, because the product was freaking incredible, man. Like, we've never seen anything like that. Like that old Toy Biz that was just like, a little $40 plastic joint stage. That thing is still really cool, and this thing was going to be like the ultimate version of that. So I'm still bummed when I think about that thing.
The problem is now is if they try to roll it out now, it's going to be $700. Like it's going to be
exactly. Yeah.
So exactly. I mean, to have to create that again and get that momentum is going to be tough.
Do you think it would help if they advertised it during their shows like Raw, SmackDown?
Yeah, I don't know.
NXT gave it a bump.
What are we doing? Not advertising this stuff during television time? You have paid for television time. Because a lot of people
don't. Yeah,
same team, guys.
I'd be willing to bet there's a lot of people that didn't even know that it was a thing. You know what I mean? Like, it just
if you're not in the niche like collector groups and like collector Instagram, like you're not going to know about these things, right? Like if you're not seeking out the information, there's a lot of little kids and a lot of collectors out there that just collect, go to the store. They don't really dive in and like look at all the different websites and podcasts and all that kind of stuff, right? If you would have showed that crap on Monday Night Raw or what the PLEs or SmackDown,
throw a QR code on there, people can just scan it, and they're two taps of their phone away from backing this thing. Like, man, let's 100%.
Have a really cool like promo video, like a sizzle reel for it. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly. It just seems so easy, and we got none of that.
Mhm.
But there's no doubt in my mind, if they mentioned it a few more times on TV, it would have funded, no problem.
I think that in the figures, man, I think the figure choice was it could have been better, man. Because ultimately, I think that Doink and that Macho Man are really what sold the new gen set. I think people had to have that Doink, and then when they put that kind of like self-imposed deadline on getting the Macho Man figure, that's when that thing got funded, right? That last 2 days before the Macho Man was going to expire, that's when you saw that flood come in there. So I would have had, DDP. They should have done DDP and jeans, right? We got DDP and ring gear. That Ray that was just like a throw in. I'm assuming that was just for like budgetary reasons. Like, what's the cheapest figure we can throw in?
Yeah.
That and the Hulk, man. We had just gotten that Hulk in the Amazon line too. Like the very, very similar Hulk to that. So yeah, just a weird setup all the way around, man. I know those guys are very smart, and I'm sure there were valid reasons for every single decision they made along the way, but give us a crack at it, dude. Let me and Sheena, the Toon Brothers, let us get together. Give us
Let us workshop it.
Yeah, give us about a $1.5 million marketing budget. We can get this thing off the ground, and make it work, man.
Mm-hmm.
And it stings even worse when you've seen it in person.
You guys got to see the Raw stage that was going to be like the sequel to
that.
It, dude.
Was
that's the kicker.
The thing was incredible, dude. That Raw stage looked amazing, man.
Yeah.
Like that would have been enough sweetener, I think, for a lot of people to jump in if they could have seen a picture of that and been like, if you guys do this will be next
year. Yeah.
Yes.
That would have been enough sweetener, I think, to at least hit that minimum number to fund. And a couple mentions on TV, you're off to the races. But it, like you said, Seth, it just stumbles.
Yeah.
Just misfires, and it's now a what could have been kind of thing, and it sucks because it was so amazing in person. It looked like a lot of fun just to put together, like to take it out of the box and to construct this thing. Looked like a shitload
that would be
of fun,
so much fun.
Yeah, and I was looking at the backside of it where all the wires are and stuff, and there was a lot of crap going on. You plug in, and you're threading these wires through, and it looked like so much fun to just dig in. But we'll never. I mean, figures aside, the set itself was worth the money to me.
Yeah, that's what we said. You could, if they would have been some good figures, you could have at least got the set and then sold the figures off after the fact. But
made your money back. Yep.
I get the stretch goal model too, but I feel like something like that, when you're getting that high for toys, I feel like just give us an all or nothing, even if it meant just 2 figures, right?
Agree.
Give us 2 badass figures. I think the value proposition, I think that was the real issue, because people are like, what was it, $440 or was it $450? What did the price end up being? Do you guys remember on that?
I thought it was like $499, dude.
Was it $500? I thought
it was $450 or $500 somewhere.
In there.
Anyways, but you're spending that, and you're potentially just getting the set with 2 figures. You don't even know it. I feel like that kind of like turned people off too, because they don't know what they're actually getting for their money. Because
when you invest up front, you're like, I'm spending $500.
And then you have people sitting back waiting because they're like, well, I'll fund it if it hits this market, when it gets this number. And if everybody's doing that, the thing never gets any momentum. And with these crowd funds, dude, there's like a viral part of it that people want to like be a part of something when they see it start picking up steam. I still remember on the first one, dude, like when we hit the 5,000 to guarantee that we were going to get that new gen set, people were like, all right, let's go get that clown, That was it, right? Let's hit 7,000. Let's go get that clown, is what everybody saying. And it got you pumped up, right? At least you're like refreshing it, watching the ticker go up.
Absolutely.
And there was really the closest they ever got to capturing that buzz was on the last night of it. And I still remember sitting there Friday night watching SmackDown, as like the minutes are just draining on this thing. And I'm like, dude,
there's no
not
way.
happening, man. Yeah.
And they got that uptick when they posted onto NXT. They got a huge bump that night, and then when they posted it to SmackDown, you saw that uptick again. But it was just so far behind the 8 ball, it just couldn't catch up.
If they would have gave us till, like I said, to maybe give us till like the end of Monday night, so you can get another bump on Raw, dude. Like, I think
exactly,
we could have got there, but because it did feel like it was starting to gather a little bit of steam at the end, but it was just too little, too late.
I know, and I wonder why they couldn't just like be like, you know what, bonus, we're going to extend the deadline. You know what I mean? When you see that momentum happening, like what's the drawback of just giving it a couple extra days? Like,
I don't
what are
see
they
a
losing?
downside. Yeah. Give it an extra week or 2. Who cares?
Yeah, and
it's
then
your project.
People, exactly. That'll get people pumped up. Like, dude, we're going to extend this deadline. People are coming in. Let's do this thing.
If you we'll give a quick plug for our show. If you want to go back, if you're a Fullyposeable listener and not a Chick Foley show subscriber, you can go back in the archives. We actually did a whole episode on like the the rise and fall of Nitro Crowd Fund. You guys should check it out, dude. So,
That was
you guys were really kind of picking the scab. I finally started to put it in the rear view, and then you guys are like making me re-experience all this trauma for that thing going away, man. So
I'm gonna go drink after the show, actually.
Because I feel like about everything else we get. Obviously, there's the Raw stage, but dude, like, there's so many cool things that could exist in this like crowd fund world, like think about like Piper's Pit. Like, I thought about doing like, a big set. Yeah, where you maybe get like a 3-in-1, like make it swappable where you can do like the barbershop, like Brother Love,
funeral parlor.
Yeah, it's all that kind of stuff, man. Like, yeah, I don't know. I think they're moving away toward that. We're just gonna get more of these like small batch items, like the LWO set or like this territory set. I think that's what Mattel Creation is going to be more for than the
which I think is cool. I also think that doing intermittently have a big crowd fund like the $500 crowd fund and then doing a few smaller crowd funds and then having a big crowd fund and then doing a few smaller, because when you're thinking like every time this thing comes out I'm gonna be dropping $500, dude, it's a little hard to digest, whereas you could do one like a smaller like set like the barbershop or something like that for like $175 or something, so I don't know.
Or a primetime desk.
Primetime desk is what I'm
primetime
waiting
desk
for.
With Gorilla and Bobby. Oh
Take my money.
And Banana Phone. Hell yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, that rounds out the show. Seth, Sheena, thank you very much for joining us. Why don't you guys get your plugs out of the way one more time?
You can find me on Instagram at Chick Foley. Our buddy Marco runs the Twitter machine or the X machine. I can't call it X.
X machine. That's too close to sounding like something adult, dude.
He's running the X machine. No, he's running the Twitter machine over at Chick Foley Show. And we have a fabulous group over on Facebook. So if you want to check that out and join our private community, it's go to chickfoley.com.
Reminder, we got the giveaway, guys. So just shoot a screenshot to Jeff and Scott on Twitter on X at Fullyposeable, or you can hit up Sheena at Chick Foley on Instagram. Just send us a screenshot at some point the week after this releases, showing that you listened to the show, and you'll be entered to win that Jazzwares Vault Malachi.
Yeah.
Thank you, Brian, for putting that on.
Thank you, Brian.
Too.
Dude,
That's amazing.
Special shout out to Brian, dude. And shout out to Brian for giving us the motivation to make this happen. It had been way too long since we had all gotten together.
We got to make this we got to make this a yearly thing from now on, dude. We'll start doing it post WrestleMania from now on.
Perfect.
Especially when we're all in Vegas and we can tell stories.
That's right. Listen, if we end up going to Vegas, we're gonna hit you guys up.
Pod,
yeah.
Dude.
Oh, hell yeah, you
absolutely, yes.
We'll do a collaborative live pod there in Vegas.
Love it.
I'm actually curious how many people are going to show up to the meetup next year, because I can see
you guys had a big crowd, dude. That was
it was a lot of fun.
Awesome, dude.
It was a lot of fun. And if it happens next year and you guys are able to make it, we'd love to have you guys there. Obviously,
we did that at when SummerSlam was in Nashville 2022. We did that, and it's so much fun. Like, because dude, as an adult, like it's like hard to like make like a lot of new friends, but like through online, you really can, right? You can find people with a shared interest and getting to like connect with the people in person. It's just it's a really great experience.
And you feel like you know these people because you talk to them on social media so much,
online for years, and you finally like get to actually meet them in person.
Meet them and like hug. It's just the best, dude.
Yeah. It was so much fun at our meetup. I remember I'm thinking, okay, it might be awkward conversation at first, like people, but like you said, you've talked to these people so much online, you see them and you're like, oh, you're so-and-so. And then boom, the conversation starts up. There's no awkward. It's just, it's fun. You got a mutual shared interest, and it's easy. And it's such a good group of people. And big shout out to your guys' Facebook group. Everybody on there, there's no hate. It's not toxic. It's just fun. It's a bunch of good people. I highly recommend your guys' Facebook group to everyone listening.
Yeah, it's good vibes only. So there's definitely some corners of the figure collecting world that's like gang warfare, man. So we've seen it. We've seen it. So agree. That's why you guys say it's such a fun place to visit and be a part of. So big shout out to you guys for creating that community. It's a lot of fun.
Thank you.
I'm curious how many people are going to show up next year in Vegas, because I can see a few people being drunk. So
it's gonna be it's gonna be totally
Vegas is gonna be party, dude.
It's gonna be
and everything's
time.
in walking distance too. Philly's a little bit, everything was kind of spread out, right? It's a little bit of a sprawling city.
It's kind of depended on where you were staying too. Okay. If you were in like the hub, you were pretty good.
Yeah. When we went to Philly to a football game, I just felt like the stadium was so far away. Like I was just like, golly,
that's the far part.
Like nowhere,
I like the downtown stadium.
Yeah,
you got to take the train from downtown to the stadium and stuff like that. So
but like WrestleCon, where the wrestlers were staying, where the Superstore was, like it was all kind of in one spot. Yeah, so that worked out really well. So we'll see how Vegas goes, but Rise and shine.
Oh, Vegas is gonna be lit.
Drinking.
Vegas is gonna be lit, dude. Oh, wake
It's
up!
gonna
What are you
be
talking about?
insane.
People aren't even gonna go to bed, dude.
Yeah,
People are gonna be on their like fourth straight day.
I saw
being
people-
awake.
People on X were like, man, I feel so bad for the fans in Minneapolis. I'm like, dude, as soon as I heard Vegas was in the mix, like, no offense to the fine people of Minnesota, why the hell would you want Mania in Minneapolis instead of Las Vegas?
Yeah,
dude?
dude.
Like,
Yeah,
what's there, dude? You got the Mall of America.
Mall.
Like, other than that,
That's
like,
it. Yeah,
what do
you
you
gonna
really
spend
do?
5
I
days
had
there.
To go to, I had to go to Minneapolis for work last year, man, and like, yeah, it was fine, but it was like the most generic like city. There's nothing to it, dude. Like the Mall of America was like the only like attraction type thing. Plus, it might still be cold. Like, dude, Vegas is gonna be a vibe, man.
Yes, and I mean,
it's gonna be
WWE is gonna lean into the Vegas theme. You know what I mean?
Oh,
It's
big
gonna
time.
be,
100%.
gambling and like the whole thing. So
Yep.
it's gonna be awesome, man.
Oh yeah, I can't wait. You guys got to go. So we're telling you, just like Jordan did, you guys got to go.
We're tossing it around, but yeah, it's
Good.
It's far, but man, maybe.
Speaking of football, I'm behind on the yours and Jordan show, but Penix, huh?
I don't know. So our most recent episode, we went deep on the draft. So yeah, check out the Goal Line. You can find it on the Chick Foley show feed, or it's got its own feed if you search the Goal Line football show. But yeah, that was a puzzling one, man. There was, I think the GM forgot that they signed Kirk Cousins, man. And just was like, oh, there's a QB there. Let's add him, dude. Like, the thing is, dude, if it was any other franchise besides the Falcons, I feel like maybe they would have, if the Chiefs or, the 49ers did something like that, I feel like they got enough goodwill that people would kind of roll with it. But the Falcons have been such just a poverty franchise for the last couple of years that they don't get any benefit of the doubt. It just looks like a boneheaded move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Seth, you're an Atlanta guy.
I was. I kind of keep it arms band.
Again, caveat.
Yeah, for the most part, I'm a kind of football agnostic, dude. There was just so many times they burnt me over the years.
We got our heart
like,
broken, really.
I'm like,
really
why am I letting this affect me so much? So obviously, I still keep up with them. And Jordan's a diehard Falcons fan. That's how me and Jordan came to be friends.
Jordan's a glutton for punishment.
Yeah, I think he's just he's like a sadist, dude.
Yes.
Like, bring on whatever the most painful loss I can experience as a fan. Like, let me have it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I still keep up with the Falcons. Obviously, we've kind of adopted the Titans, being local here in Tennessee.
Sure,
but
yeah.
I really just I'm just a lover of the game of football, man. I'm not a diehard for any team anymore. Which I think I was cracking up because when I was sending you guys them pictures of that Jeff Jarrett and Owen Hart, I saw the last message I'd sent to Scott on Facebook was, "Is Jeff okay?" Because it was right after the Bills blew that game to the Chiefs in the playoffs, dude. I didn't have the heart to text Jeff directly, dude. I feel like I need to go like, "Hey, man, make sure Jeff's not alone tonight, man."
I have watched him suffer so much over the years since the early '90s with the wide left and wide right. Sorry, Jeff.
Yeah, Scott Norwood.
And then we had another wide right this past season with Tyler Bass. So, anyways,
brutal.
Yeah, that's at least my other teams have won: the Giants, the Warriors, and Avalanche. At least
Avalanche, you've done okay with those.
Football always counts the most, though, dude. Nothing matters as much as football, dude.
I know.
Like, it's just,
I know.
The other sports just aren't the same.
Yeah,
I know.
But yeah, once you start letting it affect your emotions, you gotta keep it arm's length.
Exactly. Also, check out our other podcast and buddies. Scott, do you want to take a guess at what Breaker and I talked about on TB Toycast?
Stretch Armstrong.
We did not talk about Stretch Armstrong. Actually, I told you last week we talked about Hot Shot Basketball.
Oh,
awesome toy!
You guys remember that?
Yes.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh yeah, you get in a rhythm, dude. Knock down like 15 straight. Yeah.
But you know what the bad thing was is the counter didn't always count the baskets.
Yeah.
So you kind of had to keep your own running tally along with the counter on or the counter display on the base of it.
Yeah, if you were going hardcore for like, who's getting to go first on like the Super Nintendo and stuff like that, like you weren't counting on that electronic scoreboard. You had an independent person like ref tallying it up.
Yeah,
an impartial person to come in.
Yeah.
The other bad part about it is you only got 3 basketballs with the game.
And one of those is lost by the end of the first day.
Yep.
It's like Chainsaw Charlie's chainsaw.
It's just gone, dude. Yeah.
It's up in smoke.
Yeah. Also, check out the Positively Pro Wrestling podcast, Stolen Gimmicks, In the Marbles pod with Soda and Ethan, legendary wrestling figures with Brian Scott. We've got to jump on a show with him and discuss LJN Series 2, by the way.
I can't wait. It's a lot of fun talking to him.
I'll send you a list of open dates. And you
perfect. Yeah, you have my information. So yeah.
Yeah, I've got your info. Shout out Superbad. Work the Arm podcast, Pod Subject to Change. Ryan Buds doing Trivia Buds, RJ with Ringside Rant, Boot to the Face, Pulling Up a Chair, and Marty and Sarah Love Wrestling. Scott, roll call.
Yep, gonna throw it out to Jason Wolf. If you need artwork, Jason is your guy. That's Jason Wolf, WULF. His social media is The Art of Jason Wolf. And of course, TeePublic, search store name Starman NJ. That is Steve Hoker's store. All proceeds go to a different charity every month. And Jeff, that rounds out roll call.
Seth, Sheena, thank you again. I know it kind of blew me away. You guys said it was been 3 years since we last
Doesn't seem like
recorded,
that
so-
long ago. Yeah.
No, it really didn't. So
because that was when we did a back and forth. We did like an in your house
did a
situation.
home and home series.
Yeah, home
Yes.
invasion, where it was like you guys came to our show, we talked about wrestling, and we came over to your show to talk about figures. And
exactly.
That's right. God, 3 years. That's insane.
Well, that's
Too
going
long.
to change because I think Scott and I are going to try to do the Summer of Saying Dude Love every year. We missed last year, but I think we're going to try to start doing it. So I think you guys are going to be penciled in each year for being on.
well, we feel honored.
Yeah, we'll have you guys back on maybe after SummerSlam. That's like our next big super show. So maybe after SummerSlam, we'll have you guys come on and talk about the state of WWE.
I'm going to just kind of forewarn you guys. The guy over there, he kind of marks out big, so you might kind of want to tone him down a bit.
We love it.
I'm a mark, man.
Yeah.
I love it, dude.
Seth can mark.
Thank you.
With the best of them.
I keep up with all the dirt sheets and stuff, but when I sit down to watch wrestling, I'm an 8-year-old kid, man. Like I try to because I try to block out all like all my smart knowledge, all my like criticism stuff. I try to just enjoy what they're giving me.
Enjoy the
that
ride.
Makes me a mark. So be it.
And don't go on any social media during the show. Just sit there and enjoy it, just like we used to when we were kids back in the day.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Seth, Sheena, thank you again. Scott, for episode 433. Anything else?
Stay safe, stay healthy. Fig Life since 2016. Happy toy hunting, and thank you, Seth and Sheena. Love the Chick Foley show.
Thank you, guys. Hashtag Fig Life. Adios.
Yeah. Fullyposeable. Let's go. Jeff and Scott, the Toon Brothers, busting out the ring, but we don't take it out the box. MOC. Happy toy hunting. We'll see you next week with the OGs of WFP. Fullyposeable, thank you all for listening. It ain't no storyline, real life siblings. So everybody go and do your toy spotting. Hashtag Fig Life, adios from the Kings.